how this is going to work tonight is I'm going to talk for 20 minutes. After the ping, after people come in, I'm going to talk for 20 minutes. I'm going to go over the war, how things unfolded, what I think about them. And then I'm going to bring on everyone who else wants to be a speaker. And I'm going to let you all talk about what you want to talk about. At some point, Cthulhu from Guardian is going to come on. He wanted to do his own segment called Fuck You. I don't know what it's about. It's probably going to be really awesome. It's probably going to be a great time. But that would be at some point as well. I'm thinking, especially for Orbis Radio Thalmor starts now. We got a bunch of great tonight, so hop on. Yep, that works. That works. Change up. So I anticipate a 90-minute to 2-hour show. So let me go on to. I needed an invite. Change up. Can you give me an invite so I can use in my server to get the Thalmorites to come over? And then once that's done, I'll be ready to begin. Okay. Copy. Okay. Let's see. I'll go to announcements. Where's my announcements? Here we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, we're ready. Ladies and gentlemen, it is November 17th, 2022, and we are out here. We are online, terminally online. We play politics and war. Okay, we are the epic gamers. We are the epic gamers of Orbis. It is nuclear winter. Kev says /play Thalmor radio intro. There is no Thalmor radio intro because YouTube has destroyed the bots. They've killed the bots. My cat made a strange noise. Are you okay, cat? Cat is okay. There is no theme song. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no Thalmor radio theme song. I am sorry. It is beyond my control. It is beyond my control. It will not happen. YouTube put a gun in my face and said, you will not play Thalmor radio. And I said, okay, well, you have the gun. I have no leverage in the situation. Cucked. Music cucked. That is the state of Royal Orbis Radio at 8:06 p.m. on November 17th, 2022. Audio cucked. Musically cucked. It's over. It didn't even begin. Okay? Why do you keep making noises for, cat? Oh my goodness. So, I said it a minute ago before y'all got here. I'll say it again. This is what we're doing tonight on the show. I'm going to talk for about 15, 20 minutes about the war, how it happened, what I think about it, and so forth. Then I'm going to bring on a bunch of speakers. We got like a shit ton of people. We got like 4 or 5, 6 people, and probably some more who want to come on. So that's what's going to happen. Ask the cat about the war. Belle, what do you think about Midgard hitting name withheld? She got distracted by a ball. Ladies and gentlemen, the cat will not provide any commentary. The pussy will not speak to me. Okay? Interpret that statement how you will. Belle, what do you think about Cataclysm hitting Midgard? Still no opinion. She looked at me, blinked, and then looked away. So, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, no comment. So, this is what happened. I forgot when the war broke out. Was it Friday? I think it was last Friday. What happened was Maybe, yeah, I think it was last Friday. What happened was Midgard, with no military, totally unexpected, they blitzed, name withheld. They had no military. They just went in. They went in and they started beating them up. I don't think they hit. They double bought Mill. I stand corrected, CB. They double bought. Completely unexpected maneuver. I don't think they hit everyone in name withheld, but they did hit TKR. They did hit Carthago. The CB for the war was a thread that Toxic Pepper made. And to summarize the grievances that Midgard had with name withheld, Carthago has basically been a shitheel to Midgard, spying on them, ghosting, like spying on them, both with like actual player spies, like Spanky, but also like espionaging them, espionage attacking them. Like 3 other things I can't think of, but basically the gist of it was the eternal Carthaginians had been a menace on Midgard, and Midgard was just done with it. Midgard said, you know what? Fuck this. They pulled out the blicky, and they were going to smoke their ops. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the CB. Now, Morph, in the same thread, spoke up and said, this is bullshit. Like, all of this happened before they joined Name Withheld. And I thought that was a compelling counter argument. But you know what? Whatever. Did Carthago mass VM? Did they? If they did, I missed it. 70% of the AA. With Carthago, I only had like 13 members. So a handful going into VM. Actually, they might have had more than 30. How many members did they have, actually? Borg is listing out the CB, spy rings, troublemakers, Krampus doing spy ops, hiring pirates, ghosting. They have 60 to 70 members. So, like, what's 10% of that would be 6 or 7. So I don't know. I mean, that's an above average number of VMers. They probably shouldn't have VM'd, but whatever. It is what it is. Better than Or the White Rose. I will say that. Better than Or the White Rose. But I digress. So I did my show on Friday because the Blitz happened before my show. I did my show, my normal Thalmor radio. And my interpretation of events at the time was Midgard was doing like a team building exercise. They wanted to make a move. They wanted to have something to rally around. They wanted to make a mark in the game's history. So that's why they hit Name Withheld. It was a power move, basically. It was a political move. It was a power move. The grievances with Carthago was just the excuse. The reality is they wanted to make a move. They wanted to be something. They didn't want to be nothing. They wanted to be something. I thought that was cool. I thought Carthago hitting Name Withheld was cool. I liked it. Okay, I ended the show on Friday saying, you know what? Good luck to both sides. Have fun. I thought it was fine. I have no problem with anything. Carthago hitting TKR and friends, that was fine to me. The only thing was that I thought Midgard had a little bit, like, Midgard's numbers was like a little bit too much. I didn't like that. It was like 600 dudes against 300, but I was still okay with it because Name Withheld, especially TKR, has like the skill, like Midgard has the numbers, but TKR has the skill. So I was like, whatever. Like, this wasn't, oh, dog pile. I didn't say that. The numbers were a little yucky, but I didn't give a shit. I didn't really care. It was fine. A couple hours later, Cataclysm, no military, like 1 a.m. Eastern, they attacked Midgard. They went in raw, no condom. They went in. And my interpretation, and it is a contentious one, it is one probably many people disagree with me with, is I was okay with Cataclysm going in because whereas Midgard had a numbers advantage, Cataclysm balances it out to where it's about equal. Now, the argument against my perspective is, well, Cataclysm is high tier, so that just means that Cataclysm and Name Withheld, they dominate the upper tier, and they're just going to slaughter Midgard, and it's just over. I can see that, but there are examples in the game's history where lower tiered players are able to climb their way up the tiering and drag people down. Is it going to be a hard fight? Yes. Is Midgard, going to take some damage and maybe lose some players from attrition? Yeah, probably. But I was still okay with it because if the Midgard Milcom people were really on their game, I think they would do fine. And guess what? Those Cataclysm people, those TKR people, they got high infra. Okay? Blow it up, nuke it. And that's what's happening right now. There's like 100% radiation on every continent. I think Antarctica is like in the 90s. I don't know if Antarctica is in the 100s. I believe Decagon said in Ron earlier that they were working on making it 100%. I hope it reaches it. I hope it reaches 100% for the rest of the year. People dream of a white Christmas. I want a green Christmas, okay? I want a green Christmas. Santa, you can't get any cookies and milk, okay? We ran out of like regular food like 7 months ago. We don't even have cookies and milk for you, Santa, okay? Like Timmy does not want an Xbox. Timmy just wants like a strip of bacon, okay? But alas, it is what it is. Nuclear winter's here. That's fun. It is at 91%. Well, that needs to be fixed. I don't know who in Midgard or Name Withheld or Cataclysm is in Antarctica. You need to fix this. You need to be launching nukes. You need to be nuke maxing, okay? You need to be indiscriminately killing civilians. You need to be wrecking food production. You need to be building nukes. You need to be firing them, okay? That's just how it is. That's just how it is. But Cataclysm went in against Midgard. I was still okay with it. I also like it was dynamic. It was fluid. It was interesting. One block attacked another, and then this unrelated third party also comes in. I thought it was fine. Cataclysm's Cantus Belli publicly was that they just want to have some fun. It has since come out, like Saturday night, that the real reason why Cataclysm went in was because they want to curry favor with TKR in the event of a war between them and Rose Eclipse. So that was actually the reason why they went in. Makes sense to me. And then, okay, so Friday night, Midgard got his Name Withheld. A couple hours later is when Cataclysm went in. The next night, Saturday night, Eclipse and Terminus S also come in, and they hit Cataclysm. Like 10 minutes before this, though, the Syndicate cancels on Requiem and Cataclysm. Folks, help me out. What was that block's name? What was the third wheel of that block? Paradise. Wayward. Wayward was the block. Okay, what the fuck is Requiem? Is that Partisan's thing? Okay, where is him? Where is Requiem at? Are they also part of Wayward, or are they part of Rose Eclipse? They're everywhere. They're neutral. They're in the void. Okay, thank you. So the Syndicate gives their 72-hour notice to Wayward, and that just opens the door for Eclipse to just come in and start whacking on Cataclysm. And this was a big shitstorm. I did an emergency show Saturday. I tried doing it it was like below freezing. I had no gloves. I didn't even have a coat. I tried doing the show outside. It didn't work. I had to come inside into this little shed. I was not happy with what the Syndicate did. Still really not. Still really not. Before I talk about Eclipse, I want to talk about the Syndicate. The Syndicate gave their notice a couple minutes before Eclipse went in. And the Syndicate was obligated to still defend Cataclysm because they were hit within that 72 hours. Now, there are examples in the game's history where broadly people are okay. Like, people are okay, or there have been times where broadly people have been okay, just pretending like the 72 hours don't matter. That you give your 72 hours and people will act as if it was just canceled outright and that there is no actual waiting period. I know some examples of that happening. Eclipse went in. The Syndicate has refused to do anything. They haven't milled up. I'm not sure if they've outright said that they won't do anything. They probably have said that. I just haven't seen it. They are absolutely not acting like they're going to do anything. And in fact, really, the Syndicate decision makers have been fighting openly with like Cataclysm people, and I think even Wayward people. It's actually been kind of messy. Like Decagon was posting logs, and like Kegos was posting logs. Like it was a very like mommy and daddy were fighting. Okay, mommy and daddy were fighting. They were yelling about the house. It was very traumatic. Poor Paradise, stuck in the middle. Paradise, I believe, did declare, and they went in to back up Cataclysm. But Eclipse is like 100 people plus Protectress plus like Eclipse has a lot going on, so they brought a lot of weight to the fight, and that's what's going on. And so the Syndicate, and it's been funny because there's actual there's actual logs from Wana where he's like, and it's posted here in Raw, and I think in Leaks and Rumors, where Wana says, "Yeah, when I sign a treaty, like I know what I'm doing. Like I'm committing to it." And it's funny seeing them like not do it, like not at, like saying that and then not backing it up at all. And I believe a couple of days ago, Wana's response was to say something like, "Well, there's actually no like written terms out. Like the terms are there, but there's no actual description. So like we don't have to do anything," which I thought was fascinating. The Syndicate's perspective is this, and I believe I can represent it fairly. Cataclysm acted very irresponsibly and very disrespectfully towards the Syndicate in going balls in a war they had no business in. When I was going to, I went to the small private school. I went to two, and with both, sometimes we would take field trips somewhere out in public, and the teachers would always say, "Kids, be on your best behavior because you're representing the school when you're out here." And so when you have allies, what you do affects them, because if there's trouble, your allies are expected to help out. If there's a fight, your allies are expected to bring their battle axes. So you can't just like go crazy because you're not being good to your allies. So that was the Syndicate's argument, that Cataclysm was acting stupid, and the Syndicate wasn't going to bail him out. Kev says he talked to the Syndicate prior. I'm trying to be really fair to the Syndicate here, so forgive me if I'm getting details wrong. But I think that's her perspective, that Cataclysm had shit the bed, and why should they pick up the tab? I do not buy that because, as Kev said in chat, I think it's possible the syndicate might be misrepresenting some misrepresenting some details, like because if you went off what the syndicate was saying publicly, you would think that this was kind of dropped on them, but there were some logs, which there were like some actual back and forth, nothing too concrete, but like this wasn't really necessarily suddenly dropped on them. That's my understanding. I would love for a syndicate person to come on and give their side of things. As stands right now at 8:24 p.m., I don't think anyone can make it from the syndicate. I would love to have them on. I'm trying to be fair to everyone, but I'm also trying to report what I see is the truth. So forgive me if I'm inaccurate. And so that's syndicate. Kiryu Bingus says also them driving Canada like right when the Blitz was just a bad look. It was a terrible look. It was a terrible look. Borg says, as far as I know, the syndicate dropped because of the Eclipse Sprint, not because Canada hit Midgard. That could also be true. I mean, the question is, why did the syndicate really drop them? Like, okay, they're saying, you know, they feel disrespect, like, not that they feel disrespected, I don't think they use that language, but that they were, so the Cataclysm was being irresponsible and inconsiderate about the syndicate. And, well, about the whole block. Like, fight it out. Like, fight it out. Okay? Honor the treaty. And then after the war, once the smoke settles, decide, you know what, this wasn't worth it. But at least honor the treaty. Because the obligation was there. Because as it stands, what is the syndicate's outlook politically right now? Like, who wants to sign the syndicate? Okay. There are 75 of you listening. Some of you are alliance decision makers. Some of you are not. If you are not one, put yourself in the mindset that you are one. Okay. Would you sign the syndicate imminently, like in the next week? Type 1 in chat if you would. If you would sign the syndicate like right now, type 1. Vass would incorporate them into Hawk, Dusty Drop would, Roberts would, Borg one. Okay. If you had not signed the syndicate right now, press 2. A lot more 2s. Kev is willing to forgive and forget. That's very sweet of him. I am a 2. I am a no. Because I have just not liked how the syndicate has operated in recent times. Signing with Rose, I disagreed with. Championing Hollywood Celestial, I did not like. The syndicate turned a leaf massively when Wana did his forum post and then committed to Wayward. I thought that was really good. And I made a, when I was drunk a couple weeks ago, I made a drunk thread, and in it I had voiced that it was my desire to see the syndicate become fucking awesome and kick-ass again. To become the alliance that I remember them being years ago. To be a mover, a shaker, to be tough. And with this move canceling on their block, that to me is them going back to their old ways. And not in a good way. And so my concern would be, like, if I was to sign them, what stops them from reneging again? you know, if they just don't want to go to war, what stops them from reneging? Because to me, them canceling on Wayward just stinks of pixel huggery. Like, take the lick for like a month and then move on. But whatever, it is what it is. I don't know what the Syndicate is going to do. Vast says he would take them into Hog. I mean, I'm not a Hog decision maker. I'm not even a Hand of Fate decision maker. So I don't know if Hog would bring them in. Would the Syndicate go to Name Withheld? Would Name Withheld take them in? Was that a silly question? Apparently not. They hate TKR. Okay, so that probably wouldn't happen. So, like, are they going to rejoin Rose then? Is that what's behind door number 3? Are they going to relink up with Rose Eclipse? Like, well, who else is there? Like, I guess the Syndicate could join like a micro block. They could hook up with like Camelot and the Fighting Pacifists. But like, I don't think they have like a clear path forward. Paperless is actually fine. I would actually be willing to be like, okay, you know, paperless would actually be cool. So I would give them a lot of points if they like went paperless and stayed paperless. Vast agrees with Borg. So what did Borg say? Borg said, I believe the Syndicate says they learned from recent mistakes, and those look past because they're still top alliance, and report dictates that there's some value, even if defensively they were shaky. Maybe. I can a cost-benefit analysis, I can understand why some people would take in the Syndicate. All right, so that's the Syndicate. I'm displeased with them. But it is what it is. Now, Eclipse hit Cataclysm. That I was bothered by the Syndicate canceling on Cataclysm. I was really aggravated with Eclipse joining in. Hold on, my nose is bothering me. Give me 1 minute. Think of a picture of a pretty kitten. Whew, I need to not do cocaine before I do these shows. Whew. Okay, so Eclipse hit Cataclysm, and I didn't like that because, to me, as I said earlier, Midgard hitting Name Withheld was cool. Cataclysm coming in was cool. Eclipse coming in is just not cool because at least with Cat Name Withheld and Midgard, I thought the war was still roughly equal. Cataclysm coming in basically guarantees not even just a victory for Midgard and Eclipse, but like an easy victory. Like it's a walk in the park. Like the only thing that Wayward and Name Withheld can do now is just do as much damage as possible. Is basically go guerrilla mode because Cataclysm had no military. I don't think Eclipse really did either, but Eclipse has so many more numbers. So I just thought it was ridiculous. I just thought it was ridiculous for Eclipse to come in like they did. Now, the argument is, well, Cataclysm had no reason to enter the war against Midgard, so therefore it's okay for Eclipse to hit Cataclysm. I just don't agree with that assessment because at least with Cataclysm hitting Midgard, the war was still roughly equal. Eclipse coming in, it completely blows it out of the water in Midgard's favor. And like, even if like Cataclysm coming in and fucking up Midgard's upper tier and then sitting on them, like, here's the thing. Midgard still did something. They still did something cool, and they would be remembered for that. Like, and they would have bloodied Cataclysm. They would have bloodied TKR. I don't even know how much money TKR has anymore between all the beatings they've taken this year. Like, I don't even know how much money they really got left. Okay, like, so, like, Midgard would have been okay. Midgard would have been okay. And if they actually and if they did well, people would remember that because Cataclysm is good, because Name of Hell is good. If Midgard could have done well, even in a loss, whatever a loss would have looked like in the war, like no one would be like, oh, look at Midgard. Like, Midgard had so much momentum behind them. Everyone thought it was cool. TKR wasn't even like seething, okay? Like, they weren't even crying and bitching and coming and shitting. Like, they were actually taking it pretty well, which is good. Like everything was coolio. Now, if it was up to me, maybe I would have had Cataclysm stay out. Maybe. Now you want to talk. I asked you for your opinions earlier, Belle. It's too late. Pretty kitty. What do you think? I asked her what she thinks, and she's quiet. I tell you what, these cats are like crazy. But anyways, Professor says, are you planning to speak tomorrow? Nope. Tomorrow is Liz Sanders' show. The next Thalmor Radio is on the 25th. Vass says they took an opportunity to jump on a future opponent, take them out of the equation when they had their backs turned. It might be in poor taste, but it's opportunistic and a good move in the chess game. Are you talking about Cataclysm hitting Midgard, Vass? Eclipse hitting Kata. So, Vass, what you're saying is Eclipse took an opportunity to jump on a future opponent in Cataclysm and take it out of the equation with their backs turned. It might be in poor taste, but it's opportunistic and a good move in a chess game. And this is where I don't have a political mind. I really don't. I am insane in that I look through politics through the lens of like what allows people to like fight, you know? And so I still don't like Eclipse making good chess moves because it stems from a position of dominance. And like I said with the Syndicate, I'll say with Eclipse, if any Eclipse people want to come on, if any Rose people want to come on, if any people who's a decision maker and Rose Eclipse wants to come on tonight, they are free to. This is a fair and free platform here. But I will give my opinion. It is my opinion that Rose and Eclipse have a dominant position in the game. They have a position of strength. So when they make power moves, I don't like it. You know, Midgard is an underdog. TKR and friends were outnumbered. Cataclysm, I still think Midgard could have done some work, The Eclipse? Like, Eclipse is powerful. Rose and Eclipse have this upper tier dominance that is, I don't want to say it's unbreakable, but it's pretty strong. It's pretty considerable. So, Eclipse making these power moves, it's like, I don't dig it. I don't dig it. Vast says, Kata is signing a hog. This nigga signing a Hora and Eclipse. You heard it here first. Damn. So, and Rose militarized. So if Eclipse needed help, Rose would come in and like do what they gotta do. So there you go. That's the state of Orbis at the moment. Midgard tried doing something cool, and good on them. Cataclysm was politically motivated to help out TKR, and Eclipse couldn't tolerate this. Well, this brings up one other point, and this is the last thing I can think of to talk about, is I do wonder a little bit if there's some kind of collaboration between Midgard and some element of Rose Eclipse. Because it's obvious there was. Okay, so maybe I'm not just fully schizophrenic. Oh, now I'm being told to fuck off. Okay, well, it makes me wonder. Okay, I'm not saying there is, and I'm not necessarily saying it's even a bad thing just yet. I'm just throwing, this is the thoughts of a madman being vomited onto the airwaves, okay? Because I see Decagon's points when he was talking to Tarok made a lot of sense. And makes me wonder if Rose Eclipse are trying to curry favor with Midgard. And they wanted Midgard to name withheld to keep TKR and them down. Just an idea. I have no evidence. I have not been told anything. I have no reason to really think this except just guessing based on what has been said publicly and what I've seen with my own eyes. There you go. So that's the war. Nothing has happened. There's been a lot of shit slinging in the Balkans, but the war is still ongoing. There's been some shit slinging on the forums, but not as much. I think I'm ready to bring on actual speakers now. So if you are a decision maker from any of the blocks, and you want to come and talk, just say so. And I think Change Up will help you get on stage. Preferably decision makers from people at war. Preferably. I mean, Vast can come on, I guess, for the hog perspective. Like, Epi can come on for the Epi perspective, because fucking Epi's emperor of his own empire on the treaty web. But yeah, ideally,
is TP coming on? Toxic Pepper?
He is free to. I am totally fine with that. Spinks is banned from talking FA on voice chat. Well, you should throw off your shackles because you just should. Toxic will be on in 10 minutes. So here's how we'll start. Do I want Kev to go first because he already spoke first, or do I want Alex? Alex is representing Aurora, I think. I will let Kev think of a number between 1 and 10.
Oh, I don't care. He can go.
Okay, Alex, are you there? Say hi.
Yeah, I'm here. Hi.
Okay, I went on a big long spiel. It is now your turn to talk. You want to address anything that I said? You want to get anything off your chest? The floor is now yours, good sir.
You spoke for like 30 minutes. I'm trying to remember what you said.
I don't remember either.
Something about his cat, I think.
That was the main point I could remember, yes. Cast many times.
Alex, I gave you the floor to talk. You can't just like mute yourself. You can't. Okay.
All
Any
right,
points to expand on?
I'll rip the Band-Aid. So real quick for Toxic Pepper, if he's still listening. So he's saying something about flip flop. So and Thalmor made a point saying, asking if they work together. I feel like it's pretty obvious they did, but I can't blame them for doing that. Though
Eclipse and Aurora never spoke to each other beforehand, nor prior to the war. Nor drawing.
What if there's a log of Eclipse joining Midgard's server before them hitting? Would that be prior to the war?
There was no log of them joining before hitting.
Okay. Well, we'll hold off on that for now then. I wanted to hear your statement on it. I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but that was a big statement you just made. So, but
I thought it was pretty clear that we've had no communication with Eclipse over the matter.
Well, why didn't you tell Wayward about the hit then? If there was no coordination,
we didn't tell him because we were going to war. We didn't want it leaking, and we were hitting without a mill up, so we tried to keep it on the low as possible, much as possible.
How come when the war dropped, like a lot of people in your block, when Kata joined in, called it, there's a secret treaty. We knew there's a secret treaty, et cetera, et cetera. So you're saying you knew there was a secret treaty and didn't coordinate with another block on it in case that happened? Again, that's what I'm saying. I don't blame you. Like if you went to another block and be like, hey, if this is what happens, you mind helping out? Like, I'm just curious. Like that's why I'm saying don't blame you. That's why I think it's weird that you're doubling down on this because it makes sense for you to do that. I don't think anyone would blame you for it.
I mean, we had no clue Kata would have hit us as soon as we blitzed.
Then why did I'm sure we can find I'm sure a lot of people listening saw that a lot of people said we called it secret treaty. They called it, and then Eclipse when they hit, they said, well, what did you think would happen? And there's all these different logs on Ron and BGM and other news servers and stuff on it. So why was that the case?
That's up to them. They're probably just trying to, I don't know. They could just be trying to sound smart, make a point that they obviously knew. Everyone tries to say that. Clearly not.
I guess I'm not understanding that. But to me, that's why I was saying what I was saying when Thalmor, when you said if there is coordination between it, because I would think so. That's why I said obviously just because it makes sense if that was the case. And I don't really necessarily blame them for that.
Coordination in there.
Okay, I'm trying to give you an out, man, just in case if there are things that come to light. I'm trying to help you. Let me try to help you.
Before the war, there was no coordination between us and Wayward.
Between who?
Is it Wayward? Oreo, even.
Between you and Oreo? Okay.
Yeah.
And that's your stance and you're sticking with it?
Yes.
Okay. Before Eclipse hit, there was no coordination, is what you're saying.
Was there any coordination between Kata and TKR before the war on potential hits?
In regards to Midgard?
Yes.
No.
Or even Oreo themselves?
No, we had no idea that Midgard was going to hit TKR. There was no plan with TKR to hit Midgard. No.
Was there any plan for Kata and TKR to hit other blocks or spheres?
I mean, it's on the forums. Like you can, there's logs out there. This isn't groundbreaking things. I mean, like that explains why Kata went to war. I mean, there's logs that were posted in Discord. There's logs that are posted in the forums. It's pretty public at this point.
So ChangeUp has popped into chat and has said, coincidentally, we here at Ron happen to have leaked logs between Khan/James and Vine. surrounding a contingency plan if Hog Kata came to defend TKR. That actually sounds like a big deal, but like he needs to post it.
He said
Okay, and he just said, as fun as that would be, no such thing exists. So completely blue-balled, completely destroyed, completely derailed.
I sat up in my chair when I saw that.
Got everyone's hopes up. Really did. Kev, do you want to continue talking to Alex?
Yeah, sure. That's fine. So, like I said, on your show on Friday or whatever day that was, Thalmor, Saturday, Friday. Yeah, like I don't think Midgard's the bad guy in all this. Like that was my stance before. That's what I was talking about toxic. I was just saying, to me, it seemed obvious that they would have planned this out with Oreo, but Alex is saying that's not the case, which whatever. But Midgard isn't the bad guy on this. I think it's cool that they, start a war or whatever. And that's a pretty good beast to take down, Midgard versus Name-Withheld. I think they had the numbers advantage. But as far as Midgard goes, that with that group of alliances, that was probably the biggest bite of steak they've ever tried to chew off before, right? So I don't blame them for doing that. I mean, I would have been wholeheartedly against if all of Wayward was like, hey, we're going to join this. I would have been like, I don't know, man. So, I mean, Kata did that with, not with us, but they talked to us about it prior. And there's some pretty solid reasons as to why they did that the way that they did it. But I wouldn't say Midgard is the bad guy in this.
Alex, you got anything to say about any of this?
I didn't know he was talking to me. Well, it was obviously something we had wanted to do for a while. As in Aurora versus CTO, obviously it was just the timing and getting it all right and the numbers. But
Riveting. So,
okay.
I will say TS. So going to the TS subject, I guess that's a little bit more spicy. Maybe more people would want to hear about that, right? So the TS thing, that was disappointing. I will say, like, big Wana fan. I'm a big Wana fan. The way this was handled was pretty poor. So Kata talked to TS and us about their hit coming into the war. TS, as I'm not going to give logs of things that have not been leaked because I'm not going to do that with stuff in group chats and stuff. That's just I'm not about that life. But what I will say is from the stuff that's leaked, I mean, it shows pretty clearly that there was discussion prior to Kata hitting. It's not just like Kata hit him and said, see you later. Right. So, and you can even see there was like Syndicate was suggesting CBs that Kata could use on Midgard. I know there's the logs of Tarak saying, hey, like this is going to be a tough slog. Right. And that was there's nothing saying, hey, we really don't want you to do that. And if they did, I'd be willing to bet Kata would not have done it. So, I mean, that's all it would have taken is just a little bit of communication. And I think it would have been fine. And I mean, TS was there was conversation about what that counter looks like if Oreo did come in. Like, so there was conversation about how TS, like from TS, like what that would look like. So I'm guessing what happened is I'm guessing that when this was going down, they found an out through Rose or Eclipse or whoever. They found an out from the war. They were prepared to go in, found an out and took it, and then just deuced out on Kata and subsequently us. And they did not communicate to us because we were not in the war either. Paradise, their mutual defense partner, Paradise, the little fella, the child that got left at home while the two parents went off with their mistresses and their whatever. And so they didn't let us know about that. So to me, that's a little like, you would have thought they would have at least asked us how we felt about this. you know? And that conversation didn't happen. So that was a little jarring. I think it was a poor way of handling the situation all around.
You're saying Kata didn't speak to you at all about going to war?
I didn't say that.
That's in paradise.
Yeah, I'm saying Syndicate did not talk to us before that. Their intentions were to cancel.
Okay.
Kata told us about the war,
Oh.
that they're planning on doing that, but we weren't planning on going in unless Oreo came in, which they did.
Well, half. Well,
and then
just one alliance.
Right. So anyway, that's that with Syndicate. That's my thoughts on that. I don't know if Deca has any different thoughts.
To add to what Pablo asked in the chat, I honestly, I don't know who here thinks that Kato would have just went into like it sounds crazy that we did this, right? It sounds crazy that we just went in, got rolled, and knew it was a trap. Why would we do that unless that maybe wasn't what any of us really thought? It's easy to say in hindsight when you're not one of the people getting rolled. I don't know. It's odd that we were to assume that these events would have happened instead of taking words at face value that were being spoken mutually in both parties. So I don't know why we should have. I don't know. It's just a weird thing, joining a block and having to worry we better make sure we have a written treaty because the one that's there literally in the game isn't good enough, I guess.
No, I mean, to be fair, this goes into the role play element, right? I think it's kind of a smart way of doing it with TS is arguing that because it's the only thing they have. It's the only angle they can be huh? And then you can role play with that. And then it can maybe that can be a benefit long term to people that like that kind of style, right? To have treaties written out and being sticklers and e-lawyering and stuff. Personally, I'm kind of mixed on that. I think obviously they knew what an MDP was. Obviously they knew what the assumptions were that came with that. But again, if you're in TS's position, you're trying to slip and slide around without falling down as much as you possibly can. And right now they're on a roller blade going 100 miles an hour on one foot. They're trying everything they can. And I get it. That was an angle that they had to say. It's hey, we didn't say that we couldn't give intel to other alliances about what we're doing, i.e. Rose or whoever. It wasn't in the treaty, So I get it. Yeah, just like Valeni said. Yeah, maybe that'll be good. Maybe we've gotten too casual. Maybe we can go back to more roleplay stuff.
Okay, so Tarok will come in once a certain ball game is at halftime, so we might be able to get him on for a few minutes. I am awaiting for Toxic, so we're waiting for Tarok briefly. We're waiting for Toxic. Does anybody else want to come on? Vast, do you feel like coming on and giving your elite hog perspective? Or if not Vast, anyone else? Because this is a pretty open platform at the moment. Vast says yes, so change up if you will assist. Who's the fucking penis in Midgard running light mode? Leaks and rumors. Oh shit. What's in leaks and rumors? Logs from 1 hour before Eclipse hit Kata, Midgard server. It's not loading for me. Why is it loading?
God, it's so bright.
Who the heck uses light mode? Yeah, someone messaged me earlier and said that they had logs of Eclipse doing that. That's why I was like, huh? I haven't seen them, mean, I wish I hadn't seen them because this light mode is awful.
Hmm.
Do these logs even mean anything though? Because I look at these logs and it's like
It doesn't stay.
one
Does it
out
have
of
a-
four.
Yeah,
Just after
yeah. Does it have a
my-
date? Does it have a date?
No. Actually, I don't think this log actually mean anything because if once Eclipse decides to come in, like it totally makes sense that you would then want to open communication between the decision makers. So I don't think it actually means anything.
Right. I mean, it's just if anything, it just shows that they were working. That they did talk to him prior to Eclipse coming in. Which, whatever. Again, I said that earlier. It's not that big of a deal. But meanwhile, Sphinx is looking at these and he's like, "You call those a leak? Hold my beer." Dude, Sphinx, give us a good leak for old time's sake.
And the person who leaked it outed themselves. So,
Change up. Will you allow? Oh, there's
Yeah,
Vass.
I'm
Awesome.
fine.
What's up, Vass?
Hey, what's going on,
Effie's
guys?
here as well. We got a packed house at the moment. Vass, what is the Hog Rider perspective?
Well, first and foremost, fuck Eclipse. You know, I don't
Fuck
know what's going
Eclipse.
on over there, guys. I really don't. You know, they're 1 minute they're pixel hugging, and next minute they're jumping in on people and trying to butt fuck Kata. I mean, I don't. It's like a psychiatric ward over there. No, but in all honesty, where do you want me to start? You want me to start with Midgard or?
Start with what first comes to mind, what you most want to talk about, because in your heart, that's what we want to talk about, and that is true.
All right. So we'll start with clarifying my position with Eclipse there, and hitting Kata. Like I kind of mentioned in chat, in case it got lost. I think jumping in on Kata, after they kind of turn their backs, get themselves a little vulnerable on there, it makes it a little easier for Eclipse to get the upper hand on there. I think eventually, most of us anticipated, a war at some point between Wayward and Oreo, and I think knocking them down before they get an opportunity, and stretching that out as far as time, because at the end of the day they're just buying themselves time, right? We have a nap with Hog, between Hog and Eclipse right now. That expires January 2nd. I'm sure there's some thoughts there on their end, and if they can get involved in a war, take somebody off the board, for potential coalitions going against them, maybe, or any type of threat that they may perceive going their way, they're able to push that back further. So from an FA perspective, I think it's a great move on their behalf. I know if I was sitting in their shoes, I certainly would do it myself. And as Deca asked in chat, do I believe that Eclipse would do this if Kata had hit somebody differently? I sure would hope so. At least how I perceive that move to be. I think if this was, you're expecting Grumpy to hit you, let's just say, if you can, if they start attacking somebody and you can take that revenge war off the table somehow and push that back, it just works in your benefit there. So good move on that behalf. The Kata jumping in part, I have a little bit of mixed feelings there. On one point, I like having fun. I like the idea that you're thinking of prospects in the future. I also, think that, looking from a Kata perspective, you had to run a chain from the Mystery Oasis to Rose. That was some decent excitement there. Backroom wasn't a war that I think they really indulged in. It was like an appetizer. It, didn't really do anything for you except satisfy the urge just a little bit. So I think on that behalf, not only looking to a coalition potentially from a boredom perspective, it just I can see it going either way, to where maybe I would want to do that, maybe I want it. I think that anytime you put yourself in a vulnerable position, that's you have to eat what comes to you. So certainly Eclipse jumping in, is going to do that. The public backlash, of doing that is going to be part of that. Just like Hand of Fate, we did what we did, by hitting TKR during their rebuild period. That's something that we set ourselves up for, and that's a lick that we know that we're vulnerable to, from doing that, for somebody else potentially doing that to us as well. Midgard, I think Midgard, I mentioned on the forums, I like the CB. I like that it was clear, direct, to the point. I see Carthago's position, for saying, hey, we took care of a lot of this. I think I saw Morph saying this. This all was handled prior to admittance into the block, so it's irrelevant. And I like the CB for what it is. However, I do think that it's in the position of you're grasping for any CB to justify what you're doing. I think that Aurora has a low morale. You kind of look at what's happened with them and kind of how their history's been, and just kind of bouncing around. They're kind of like that. They're kind of like that bench football player that finally gets an opportunity to start, and they want to make the best of it. And so if this ongoing beef with CTO has every day in Balkans, it's it's jumping off. They're going at it. Spanky's antagonizing. It's just this back and forth. And I think it was a good opportunity for them to not only use that as a reason to try and prove themselves that, hey, we're worthy of being talked about again. To also, we can let's finally just end this beef. It's been a lot of talk, a lot of threats. Let's actually do something about it this time. So yeah, if anybody wants to critique those, feel free.
Yeah, Valeni, I think you touched on a couple of solid points, and I mean that's the meat of this. I guess I'm just assuming everyone reads the forums or I've caught up on all this, but so you were talking about how Eclipse, like that was kind of the move they had to do due to Hog's situation with the nap, and that's spot on. That's exactly why Kata jumped in too, was because of Hog's situation on the map. I mean, they can't, if with TKR getting hit, everything's off the table. Who's left? Wayward. So who's Oreo going to hit before the nap ends? Wayward. That's so. If anything, TS should be thanking Kata for bailing them out, right? But anyway, yeah. So I mean that's the issue. And then we come to the real meat and potatoes here. Why is that an issue? It's because Oreo is too damn big. The rent's too damn high, right? And it's way past. People are like, oh well, it's a little bit smaller, about the same size as Hollywood. Nope, because you got to compare it to the rest of the minispheres. So unless they're trying to kill the minisphere idea, which I mean maybe that is their goal, and if that's the case, then okay, then at least like it makes more sense than just lulz. Good luck hitting us, nerds, right? So I think the main issue there is like these large member nations or large member alliances forming these blocks and having it be OP where it takes 3 quality blocks to even bring them down. I think that's the issue.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you there. I think when you look at Celestial had the first Hollywood had the target, Celestial had the target, and I forget who did the debate the other day in Iran, or maybe it was on Thalmor. I heard in the recording, but they were saying at the con where you can't compare the political landscapes, of back then to now. Quack when they were around, those blocks were a different size compared to let's say a Celestial, in a mini-sphere environment. So I think it's going to be interesting to see, does TS, I mean, and again, I'm just speaking general public here, but I think it'd be interesting to see the direction,
Come on, where do you think they're going to go?
That's
Come
why
on.
I said general public here. Kev, I can't pretend like everybody, knows what,
Sure.
thinks like we think. But I think it's gonna, at some point somebody has to wake up and somebody has to say, let's be mindful of our size. Limit, we have to find some way to find a balance, I think. But I also like that it's not conformed like that, because at the same time, like it almost forces action in that way. You know what I mean? And I think that in a stale game, this is the most exciting political circumstance, in my opinion, since I've started playing. Guns and Roses happened. That was a fantastic war. However, I just don't think that there was the drama surrounding that you see this, and the intrigue, and the preemptiveness, the reactionary. I think this war just has everything, and it all happened because
the weight
of
of
the
it.
size.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say, and so for the mini spheres, not mini spheres debate, here's the thing: is when mini spheres are gone, right? It's a teeter totter. I think people are going to long for that. Oh man, I miss mini spheres. Mini spheres were so fun, and then go the other way. And then, bipolarity was so fun, etc. Like I think it's just, as folks, as people, we like to go through different waves of things, and kind of you get bored of stuff, because I forget who said it, but someone's like, I'm bored of mini spheres. I don't think that's a bad thing. It's kind of the ebb and flow, right? And I think the mini spheres thing has been fun. I mean, if it continues on, cool. If not, cool. I will say though, I believe Kigaz won the mini spheres era. I don't think that can be debated.
No, I definitely think they have the best tenure, out of that, and the best resume.
Mm-hmm.
Deca, what I know you jumped on like right after me. What's your thoughts on everything?
I loved the Aurora and Carthago drama, like, for the last few months. I think it was so good. It was so, like, there were layers to it, like spy rings and like pirates getting hired and all. It was nice. It was really fun. And then, like, it kept on like slowly escalating, and then it sort of just died off from what I thought, at least. And I didn't think anything else would really come of it. To be honest, and I mean this with no disrespect, I sort of thought both parties were more of like a passive nature. And I give like 100% kudos to Midgard for being able to mill up like this.
Oh, I
Like,
can't.
it's-
One
it's
sec.
like, I think it's impressive that they won. Like, they pulled it off. They won, even with like external parties involved. They won. Like, they won the PR aspect of it. The FA aspect is, it depends on what you think about what Morph said about, like, Carthago wasn't in withheld, and I didn't even think of that until it was mentioned today. But, like, this is a great win, in my opinion, for Midgard. Like, phenomenal in nearly every aspect. Like, did anyone else even notice that they were militarizing?
Yo, hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. What's up? What's up, everybody? How you guys doing?
Oh, toxic.
TP.
Toxic.
Yeah.
Toxic, thank you for coming on. But before you get started, I want to say what's happening in chat right now is that the identity of the leaker has been found because in the screenshot there is a ping. And apparently it is Boz/Bozy, B-O-Z, who is apparently the head milcom for FARC. So I believe he's already been kicked. So there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, the leaker. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Mission accomplished. Toxic, welcome to the bonus show.
Bonus.
I think you've been around for most of the discussion, so I'm just going to let you say whatever you want to say. Pop off, King.
Okay. Yeah, well, just came from outside. It's pretty fucking cold, so.
I had to go to a family member with an appointment, and while I was waiting for them to be done, I walked downtown to the milkshake place, and I got the milkshake. The only problem with this is that it was below freezing, and I didn't have a jacket because I still haven't busted out my winter clothes. So it was really cold, and it was not fun.
All right. So, what exactly was leaked in this thing over here?
The point of the leak it's to show that Midgard and Eclipse were communicating, basically. Now, the consensus from everyone is that the leaks don't mean anything because
Wait, this
there's
is
no dates.
this is literally a coalition server. I mean, this is like how does this prove anything?
Oh no, the claim or whatever was that was before Eclipse came in.
All right, well, that's not true. That's after Eclipse
I
came
mean,
in.
even if it is, if more stuff comes in, it's not that big of a deal in my opinion. And I think we've all explained why. Like it makes sense in your guys' shoes if another block came in that you'd try to be like, okay, well, what if? Because even with Kata coming in, it's a pretty close fight. But what if other people came in? Like you guys had to secure your position too. At the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal either way.
Wait, what do you mean by come in? Do you mean like join the coalition server? I mean that's like no. Of course they're going to join the coalition server. We gotta coordinate and stuff.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying people, and I don't know. People are saying that log came from prior to Eclipse joining the war, which implies that then you guys were in cahoots with Eclipse prior to them joining the war to plan something out, which is why everyone's saying it's not that big of a deal. So anyway, that kind of summarizes. It's not that big of a deal. We can really move on, to be honest.
Okay, but that's not true, though. The actual fact is that they joined after. Yeah. They literally joined the coalition server after they already joined the war.
Right on. Yeah, I don't know.
Which makes sense, you know? You want to coordinate with the people who are fighting the same people you're fighting.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so I'm not sure what this leak even proves. Doesn't seem to be proving anything to me.
Okay. Well, maybe, I don't know. People are saying that came from prior to
But who's
Eclipse
people,
coming
though?
in.
Who's people?
What? That's what the leak says. I don't know. Whoever the.
How does the leak say that? Where in the leak
don't
does it have a date? It doesn't have a date in here.
It just says leak logs from 1 hour before Eclipse hit Kata Midgard server. That's just what the leak says in the Ron server. I don't know. I'm not. Anyway, so with that said, maybe do you have the screenshot? You can just clear it up. Again, it's not that big of a deal either way, but if it really means that much to you, you can take a screenshot and show us yourself, like what day it was or time.
Let me see.
I brought popcorn.
That's cool. What's up, Morph?
Not much, man. How's it going?
Good. Wilson, how much do you like CTO on a scale of 1 to 10?
What
Mr.
day
James Wilson.
What day did Eclipse
Boz, by the way?
blitz Kata?
I think I can clear it up. If Boz is from Aurora and Right Honorable, and it would be odd that if Eclipse joined like a half hour later, according to this leak, like you guys didn't have the Milcom people in this, like your Milcom people in the server. at that point. Like that's
What are we arguing about? Because I like to argue.
well, okay.
Oh,
so-
we're talking about how the worst FA move of all time was Hollywood signing Celestial, a block-to-block MVP.
Yeah. So was Fark
I
just
think
getting
that
to
was the
server
best.
after a day after Midgard hit as well? Like Fark didn't get into that server until a day after? Because it looks like Pascal joined only half an hour afterwards. Like, right honorable, you can bring your other Milcom here too. So
I'm
you
just
either need,
saying
like,
the
it'd be like
game
right
misses
before or a day later.
Hollywood.
No,
The
it
game
really
needs-
doesn't.
The game needs Hollywood and Celestial to get back together.
No, Hollywood A was a terrible name for a block.
It was your name, you dummy.
What's that?
It was your name.
I didn't suggest that one.
You named Hollywood.
It does say 11/12, by the way. I didn't realize that there is a date on it.
I told you about popcorn, Kayum. I was lying.
Hey, Morph, what's your take on the situation? What's break it down? What's your opinion throughout this whole cycle of events, from getting hit to TS canceling to that's pretty much it. I was getting rolled.
I mean, I'll be honest. Did not expect that level of OPSEC from Midgard.
Yeah.
Impressed. Very impressed. I was driving around on a job interview like for a whole weekend, and then my phone buzzed, and I looked down, and we got hit, and I said, "Oh God, I'm about to get fired." But thankfully, everyone else was as blindsided as I was, so I still have a job.
That's a long job interview.
It was a whole weekend. You have to try out, so. Yeah, I mean, the rationale, I get the CB, but again, if you're gonna hit CTO over these things, you should have hit CTO over these things like 3 months ago. Personally, I mean, I know there's a good CB, I guess, never technically goes bad, but it definitely loses its luster the longer you sit on it.
You say that, but just you wait in 6 months. We're gonna smack you for that block to block MVP.
We've already been smacked for that. Thank you very much.
Not from us.
Yeah, but Hand of
No,
Fate
I-
did the world's job for
I
them.
think the issue with the like, I know you're saying that we should have hit Carthago a long time ago, but we didn't have the proof or the leaks that Piggy had gov roles in that server until after they joined you guys. So
In our server, like the
um,
Sphere server, because Piggy didn't join the
No.
Sphere server until after we got hit.
oh, okay. I mean, why is she in the Sphere server? That doesn't make sense. A non-Carthago member in your Sphere server.
Busted.
Running their Milcom stuff, like as their bots and stuff.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, when you have a ghosting claim on one of your members, wouldn't you want to try your best to distance yourself from this person? Don't give any proof. Okay, when
Oh,
Carthago
yeah. If they're running bots, they're running bots,
that
man.
this
I
is
don't
not a
know.
Carthago member,
And
and
they're
then we
running
get
bots,
stuff.
they're running bots. I don't get it. I don't run bots. I don't mess with bots.
Okay, but I mean, the leaks that we got, I don't remember what Sphere server they were in, but they literally had Gov, admin, Carthago roles, and also Milcom roles. So how does a non-Gov or non-Carthago member, for that fact, have Gov roles? That doesn't make any sense to me.
I'm just saying, if it's a bot, it's a bot.
That's
But-
I don't know. I think that's kind of an excuse. I mean, we have
It might
Borg in
be an
our server,
excuse.
but
I'm
we
just
don't.
trusting. I'm
we have-
trusting my ally.
No,
So-
Well,
Yeah, I
that's
think
the
that
reason
was-
we're hitting your ally, because this is such an obvious ghost. I mean, everything points to this being a ghost. I mean, they could say that it's for bots, but I mean, we have Borg coming in over here in our server. We don't give him admin. We give him a little section off to himself. He does his bot stuff. That's how it works. I mean, you don't give a non-Sphere member admin to the whole Sphere server. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Perhaps, but I mean, Borg can probably see what's in Lakotis, right? So is Lakotis in all your other Sphere stuff too?
No. Lakotis has its own channel, own bot spam for him. If he
That's
can see
nice.
other channels, then that's I don't want to assume that that's what he does, but I doubt that he does that. But yeah.
Interesting. I don't know. I just think the Sphere server. Well, I think the CB would have been great, especially all the spy stuff and all that when it was actually ongoing. But that's just
I mean,
personal
Piggy was
take.
still hitting us after they joined you guys, so it was technically still ongoing. But we just didn't have the proof until after they joined you guys. I mean, it's not like you switch spheres and all of a sudden you're still doing the same bullshit you're doing, and then everything is wiped clean. I mean, it doesn't really work like that.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe we'll see. You hit us. That's fine. So back to the chain of events here. Then Kata came in because Kata's cool, and they're like, we don't like bullies, so they came in to stop the bullies. And then
Yeah, big bad Midgard over here, school bully, playground bully.
pretty bullying. That was pretty scary.
You are still winning against both of us.
Well, we're only winning for one reason. We're winning because Eclipse joined and hit you guys. If Eclipse didn't join, this would be a totally different war, 100%.
It would just, I mean, Kata provided like.
Actually, what I don't
Against
understand is how
guys?
everybody came up with this notion that it was an equal war after Cataclysm joined.
Because
I mean,
Kata's involvement would only negate your chances of winning. So
No,
if
that's
we
not
attack
true.
for a day, and I'm still
Here's the
talking, if we attack
Yep.
for a day and then we stopped attacking, you're still winning. It sort of means that scenario would have still played out like that because we
Well,
only
that's not
provided
true.
more
That's-
damage against you.
Okay, you guys hit Aurora, right? Aurora is the most C30 alliance in that whole sphere.
As well as
Okay.
CI, but yeah.
Now, no. We have the most C30s in that sphere. So you guys hit Aurora, you slot Aurora. Now, every single Aurora member, C30 and up, is already on 3 offensives and also up declaring. How is it when you slot them? How does that make it fair? How does that make it even? There's just a matter of time before they go down. And then it's also just a matter of time before you expand on the other people.
Toxic. Think about it this way, man. If we're going to think about this logically, look at the reason, again, that was already explained, that Kata came in, right? So if they could come in, it would have been possible for you guys to win. Would you have guys won? Probably not. I don't know. But if there was some more pressure then, so if they could flip it, if there was a chance of them winning, then there could be some pressure that they piece out early, piece out quickly, and then move on, right? To what the next
that's Kata making the war about them. I don't care what Kata wants, to be honest. I care what I want.
No, I know, but Kata cares what Kata wants.
Okay, but you're telling me to be like, okay, well, shut the fuck up and take it. You lost. Take a 2-week piece. Like, that's not what you
the thing is that you're making claims. And you're making these all secret treaty, like you're even the biggest one, like out there, like trying to say this and that and the other thing, and they're not true. I'm just explaining. I'm just explaining it was not a secret treaty. It's reacting to a situation that popped up. So again, so that's why I'm just clarifying for you because based on your comments, it seemed like you're wanting an explanation. So there you go.
Okay, I don't know where I brought up secret treaty, but did Cataclysm not literally? Did Cataclysm? No, I mean like right now in this conversation. But did Cataclysm literally not make a coalition with these guys? There's literally leaks all over the place. How is there not a secret treaty when they literally have a coalition set up? And they said themselves in 2 weeks.
Nothing was. No,
they were
nothing.
Hit in 2 weeks.
No, that was proposed, and nothing was finalized at all. The things that were talked about, TS was on board with, but there was nothing finalized or whatever the case may be. But it doesn't matter. I already explained the situation.
All right, but I mean, you need to look at the PR of this thing, right? So, like, you have a third-party alliance, no ties to anybody, going to help out TKR. Obviously, the first thought that comes to mind is a secret treaty. Okay, even if there isn't a secret treaty, their entrance was kind of bullshit, to be honest. Well, for us at least, for Midgard.
Yeah, I could understand that. I could understand you thinking that, absolutely, and Midgard thinking it. That wasn't an insult. Like I could understand that being the point of view from Midgard, 100%, because you guys finally, like Thalmor, I think covered it pretty well at the beginning. You guys were licking your chops. You finally had something where you're going to defeat someone pretty respectable, but potentially beat them, right? And I think, yeah, from your point of view, I'm just saying there's more than one point of view, right? And there's more reasons than just, oh my gosh, secret treaty. Like, you know what I mean? That's all.
Well, I mean, obviously, they have a whole plan. They want to take down Aura and all that. But you can't fault somebody for saying that this is a secret treaty when everything. I mean, you have no context of the situation, so obviously you're gonna think it's a secret treaty. And then also you get leaks saying that they were building a coalition, so you'll think it's a secret treaty. I mean, that's just the go-to. You can't fault somebody for thinking that.
That argument sort of works on the other side though as well.
Right.
Like, I'm not
That
saying
works on
I
our
believe
side?
that
No.
because I'm not
Eclipse
saying
joined
it's
in
on
reaction to you joining, though.
okay, but what I'm saying is like I don't believe that the coalition stuff on your guys' side, but I like if you're gonna apply that logic, it's sort of like the same. Like, oh, it makes sense because Eclipse is working with Midgard. They're on your server, on your coalition server. Like it's.
I would be
I know
100%
you
with
can
you.
justify for like that. There
Yeah,
is,
I would
like,
be 100% with you. I agree with you. If Eclipse joined this war first, if they joined first, I'd be 100% with you. But you joined first, and what does Eclipse think when you joined? What everybody else thought? Oh, they're joining because they want to bail out TKR and hit Eclipse. That's literally Eclipse's thought process, and they made that clear. And then they joined to cover their asses because they knew they were next. Is that not a logical step to take?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
You can't really use that against. You can't really use that against Eclipse because Cat is the one who joined first.
Mm-hmm. And again, like I guess you're saying it sucks because it's not about like Kata was making it about Kata, etc. But at the end of the day, like that's the stakes of it, of the PNW at that point. Like the bigger deal at that situation was the Oreo. I want to say the real name and then Oreo. But anyway, the Oro situation. Yeah, it's so tough. But it's that was the higher stakes, I think, and that's why that became the focus. Like otherwise, Midgard versus TKR at a different situation, you know, hey, that's pretty neat that you're doing that. But so it's just an unfortunate situation for you, or it was an unfortunate situation for you guys if it would have stuck out that way. It still could have been a win for you guys. How awesome would that have been if you guys would have taken out Withheld and Kata? Man, you guys could have been beating your chest and walking around.
Yes, a slim 1% chance we do that.
That's arguing over things that didn't. And
It was more than a 1% chance.
Yeah.
No, I don't agree with that. Because look, we already had our buys done. You guys were already hitting our planes. We were out of buys. Okay, Cataclysm comes in with full buys and everything. I mean, it's pretty one-sided there. So
we'll never know then. So it's like arguing over a thing that didn't happen.
I mean, if you look at it objectively, right, and like what I've explained earlier with our 30 plus, because that's the important zone. That's the zone we lack in pretty hard, and that's actually why we needed the secret mill up. If we didn't have the mill up, then we wouldn't be able to even fight TKR. So if you have Kata coming in, knocking our entire C30 down, what's going to happen next? Down declares. This is a down declare meta, so we just lost the war there.
If and maybes and could haves.
It's not really an if and a maybe. You have each Aurora member C30 plus with 6 slots, and you have buys still, and we don't have buys. How is that not just a matter of time? And then also, the second day you started expanding onto TI, and we couldn't counter you. It's literally just a matter of time. All you need is TKR to mass suicide into our entire C30 plus.
And so I know
like a scenario, but the reality is that you guys are dominating. So I don't know where the complaint is in that.
No, I mean we're dominating now because
maybe.
Well, Eclipse joined. That's why we're dominating right now.
Yeah. So I don't know
what I will say, Toxic, is Decade is coming from an earnest place because I said earlier I don't like with the leaks and stuff. But since Zek is here, I mean I'll say it. They were like, I don't know, like we still might lose this if we jump in here. That was Kata's point of view, right? And then later, like as the war went on, like after the first day, the comments were, "Never mind, Aurora's giving up. I think we should win." So you guys had every opportunity. It's just you guys weren't handling the situation in a way that would have caused you guys to win, I think. But it's a tough ask, you know what I mean? Like it's still a tough war at the end of the day. But it doesn't. At the end of the day, it's in butts, right? So it won't even.
But what Abaddon said, like I'll be honest with you, Toxic, like 100% honest. When Kata went in, we went in with 0-250 or maybe 0-350, and then we switched, and we had like a very small amount of people getting involved, like 100%. This was like a 1 a.m. Eastern like decision. Like people were not like, you have to know that Kata was not like a full commitment. It was like a chunk. So, and I want to be honest with you. Every turn, we had people logging in. You know, like I'm Eastern. We had people logging in at like 6 a.m. my time, and they're like, "What build do I use?" Like we had people struggling, and we already had counters coming in on people. I'm not trying to get sympathy here. I'm just saying, like, it wasn't like Kata went in. It was like a chunk went in. The other
Well,
chunks
I
were
mean,
bigger.
you kind of had all the time in the world because everybody else is preoccupied. You
We
got
didn't
3
do
offensive
that.
wars.
Like in hindsight, from like another perspective, yes, but from our point of view, it wasn't hitting Midgard. It was defending TKR, and I want to say that like it was pretty rough on our end. Like 1 a.m. we were like still working on planning like what do we do here, and I'm just saying like we
Okay, well, I mean,
I'm almost done.
all right,
We
sorry.
didn't- It's fine. We didn't do this thinking that like, yeah, we're gonna just change the pace of this war. Like we went in because we honestly felt it wasn't against you guys. We went in thinking like we, as in like Kata, and I guess I mean it was a wayward interest, and Kata was just more. I guess I is aggressive the word. We're more like, yep, let's go. Like
Proactive on trying to, but I mean,
So,
yeah.
we didn't know if we would do much at all. Like,
All right, so I do have a question for you, okay?
Mm,
Now, for so long, you've been saying, why would Kata join a lost war? So I want to ask you right now, why would Kata join a lost war? Because actually, the argument you were using is that if we knew Eclipse was coming, why would we join this war? Because we would lose. So
Okay,
with
I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop the conversation right here because Cthulhu from Guardian is supposed to do a segment. And
Heck
guess what,
yeah.
Ken? So everyone, hold your thoughts. Toxic, hold your question. We'll get to it here shortly, but I want to bring Cthulhu on because he's going to do a thing. This was already planned before the show began. I have to do it. It's either now or never. So change up. Can you bring Cthulhu on? I was just DMing him literally not even a minute ago, so he should be here.
Wait, someone
Although
from
who
Guardian
knows if
can
he's
actually
in
join a
these
PC?
No, it's crazy. Hi,
You let him out of the
Cthulhu.
nursing home, bro.
What's up?
Hey,
Oh.
you.
So my
wanted
neighbor
to
is
say
just taking
some
off.
stuff.
Hold on one second. See you, Chris. So anyway, we would like to bring you a segment, maybe regularly if Thalmor would like it, called Fuck You.
Okay.
It's very simple. We're going to do positive fuck yous. We're going to do negative fuck yous. I don't speak for the Alliance. This is just for fun. You know, we've been talking serious for an hour and a half about politics and war bullshit. So let's have some fun. Sound good?
Is this where I say
Pop off,
fuck you?
King.
All right. So first, we do some positive fuck yous. So Memph and Vanek, they get the first positive fuck yous because they are the guardians of Guardian. So I'd also like to give a few fuck yous to people who are in the mix right now. Big Morph, you know, I'm sorry you're getting stomped. Not really. Fuck you. And I'm just
Appreciate it.
kidding. I'm just kidding. I almost declared on Morph a few weeks ago just for fun, right, boy?
Would have got these hands, man.
Yeah. All right. So who else wants a fuck you out there? You know, the Immortals get a little fuck you from us. You know, the Matt's crew. I don't know how many are on tonight, but when we were a thing, the Immortals were bro as fuck. And you can see from my profile picture, that's Hurricane Matthew and Infrared, that the Matthews rule. So I just want to say fuck you to the Matthews and the Immortals. I asked Wana if he would join me tonight. He did not join. He didn't respond to inquiries about joining me. So I just want to give him a big old fuck you.
You must have been offensive there, my friend, instead of non-chaining.
That's all right. You know, I asked him if anybody from TS wanted to be on tonight. I've heard some discussion about TS. I come from some old Mensa peeps, and I think there's room for TS in my life. So that's why I've reached out to Wana just to say hi. Again, I don't know shit. I am in no position of authority, but we might as well talk, right? Yeah, fuck you too. Change up. I don't know if there's anyone from Rose here tonight. Rose militarized, right? Are they still militarized? Yes, no, maybe.
Probably.
I believe so. Maybe.
But as far as I
yes,
know,
they are.
they're just they're going to sit on the sidelines, right? So I want to give a big fuck you to all of Rose. Thank you for chilling. Because if you didn't, then you know, stuff would have to happen, right? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know shit.
Who knows, man? Who knows? It's fun
So
time.
you know, I don't follow the meta. You know, I hear stuff, I read stuff, but I don't really give a shit. So fuck you to the meta, right?
Amen.
One of the questions that I have had on mine since Prefontaine joined a Guardian, however long ago, is what, you know, we've been talking about a little bit, and that's the polarization, the hegemony, blah, blah, blah. So I want to give a big old fuck you to Prefontaine for, you know, always keeping it real. I don't even know where Prefontaine is now. Where is he or she?
At Alex's house.
All right. All right. So are they scissoring or are they fucking?
I don't know why those are the only two options.
Okay. I also want to give a fuck you to sweet Ronnie D over at Grumpy. Give a good old fuck you to High Dude over at Oblivion. And a good old fuck you to our friends over at Hand of Fate. Specifically Thalmor and Vas. You know, it's nice to be aligned, right? Yeah, we can give a fuck you to Alex. Yeah, big old fuck you to Alex. I mean, first of all, I yelled at Dr. Rush. Why the fuck don't we get a notification when the 10-minute timer changes? Are you fucking kidding me? When there's a war going on and you make a physical change to the game because of the war, because your server sucks, why don't you tell me when it fucking changes? Dr. Rush, are you here? I don't know. But fuck you to Alex and Dr. Rush for that. Hey, fuck you too, Abaddon. The rest of the fuck yous, you know, you can hand them out at your leisure. I am curious how this war is going to pan out, what's going to happen after it, but I also don't give a fuck. Fuck you too, J-Web. And I was going to play a video for you all, but I guess the plugin for YouTube is broke or the bots are broke or some bullshit. So you're just going to have to watch it in your free time. The beauty of the F word. I give it to you. I don't know how many people here are not Americans, but if there are any people here who are not Americans, I want you to know that the word is yours. You can use it, abuse it. And Bland, I tried to get Bland to come here tonight. Any of you who don't or haven't had the pleasure of hearing Bland, I want to invite you to the next Ron radio hour segment, whatever the fuck you call this, because Bland is going to join me.
No, stop! Shut up! Can we get Tarok on real quick?
Go.
Stop the show! Stop the count!
What's up, B? How you all doing? Can I give a shout out to my boy Soul, my boy J-Web, and my former boy Pablo? Pablo, you left us. You ain't a real one anymore.
Or he
So,
is a
guy-
real one, and that's why he left.
You're on
He's
for
not
TS.
the real one left.
Yeah, I'm with TS. Now, Pablo left because he was a simp for the great Republican Hope partisan. You think I'm at the game? You think I got that sort of money, Kiwi? Nah, I'm in Boston, baby.
Oh, Quincy, bro.
He's joining a VC at an NFL game. What a Chad move.
You're actually gonna live stream the game. It's gonna be me with the Pablo, shut up. It's gonna be me with the game in the background.
He's actually on the sideline with a clipboard.
Yeah, I actually play for the Packers. I'm actually Aaron Rodgers. That's what I'm doing instead of practicing. Anyway, what's up, B? I got like I'll give you guys like 7-8 minutes. What's going on, baby? Change up, much love, my brother.
Tarak, why you cancel and no talk to Paradise with being upset at Kata and not communicate to Para BB?
Listen, I canceled with my boys at Paradise because I got nothing but love for them, and I ain't gonna ask my children. Listen, I'm gonna level with everyone. The combination of Cataclysm and Syndicate was a marriage, as you could all see with the announcement, and Paradise were our loving children, and I wasn't gonna ask my son, Hodor, to choose between his mother, Kigaz, and his father, Wana. I wasn't gonna ask my son to choose. But to be honest, it was a matter of Paradise and Cataclysm had been extremely close allies, and with us parting ways with Cataclysm, it was sort of understood by my decision, in my eyes at least, that with us leaving Cataclysm, it would have been awkward to just try to be like, hey, Paradise, what do you guys think? Especially considering I had some displeasure. I figured 3D was probably smart to just end both of them.
Bruh, you got the
I got a
biggest
question for
wild
you.
card. You could have asked. All
I
I'm
got a
saying.
question for you guys.
Maybe we could have hit Cataclysm together. Who knows?
Bro, what?
Set the
Just
world on
because-
fire.
No.
I didn't agree with what Cataclysm did, but I'm not gonna hit my boy I'm not gonna hit my boy Kigos. I'm not gonna hit my boy Decagon.
Thank you.
We disagreed, but there's still nothing but love for Decagon, not Kigos though. He got only one eye. It's only love between me and Deca.
I don't know if I say like yay or if I just don't say anything.
No, you gotta say what Cthulhu just said. You gotta go with the fuck you segment.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, I think it was a pretty how do I put this in a PC way? Pretty bitch ass move to bail like you did. But I love you. But it was pretty weak sauce.
You gotta write out the treaty specifically. Come on, man, Kev. Come on. You gotta
that
have
was
every
nice.
stipulation clarified for TS.
Gaius,
Very important.
the
Oh,
question
God,
for you, Gaius.
My name is just Tarek. Don't call me Gaius. Just Tarek. It's good.
Tarek, I don't
What's up,
I
fucking know
said
you.
Turok.
But
Tarok?
what do you think about the hog, bro?
The hog. Listen. I got nothing. I've had my beef with Guardian. I've had my beef with Grumpy. I moved past that. We put on the forums. We're moving past it. I've been around this game 4.5 years. Entire time I've been beefing with my man Ronnie. I like the thick green presence they got going on.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think TS and Grumpy ain't gonna ally up. That ain't good for the game. Too much thick green power.
Fuck
But
all
just
that.
because we ain't gonna be allies doesn't mean I can't look at Ronnie and go, "That's some thick green economy you got there." We ain't allies, but we can be boys. We can be friends with benefits. I can go over and compliment that thick green commerce.
Then
Well,
why
that's
did
what
you
I
guys
wanted to make
block
sure
us?
of.
We tried to get
What
you
if-
guys to sign. We tried to get you guys to sign a treaty with Grumpy, and you said no. What's up with that?
Because it's not good for the game, and we all know that Tarek exists only for the betterment of the game. As you can see from my history in Pantheon and BK during NPO's last time, I want nothing but good for the game. Pablo, shut up. Don't ask me
So-
questions.
Hey, yeah,
So
when
do
are you
you
going to sign your
subscribe-
treaty?
Do you subscribe to the Prefontaine theory then, bro?
What's the Prefontaine theory?
That hegemony isn't good for the game.
No, hegemony ain't good for the game, but
But
hegemony. But I mean, I can come over and I can vibe with my guys. We don't have to be allies to be friends.
that's
just
right.
'cause-
That's right.
Like I'm not allied with my boy. I'm not allied with my boy Kiwi, but we're boys. Shiho, I got nothing but love. Best male com in the history of the game.
Rebel.
Q is a goddamn
Rebel.
degenerate masochist, but he's cool. He's cool. I
So
don't
it
have to
sounds
be
like
allies
to
with
me-
people to be boys.
So Tarek, it sounds like to me you want to just chill and not
Netflix.
get involved in anything right now.
I mean, Cthulhu, let me be real. My executive, as the kids say, likes the weed. TS is nothing but chill. Juana's high off his ass half the time. We're just vibing. We're riding good waves.
Well, that's where I'm at, bro.
Kiwi, you know weed is legal in Massachusetts. You know.
So when are you announcing your treaty?
With who? We got a few things in the works. We're gonna announce a treaty with the Enterprise of mutually assured destruction. But which treaty are you asking about? Right now we're paperless and we're vibing. Right now we're just enjoying life. As Mayo said, Juana just got a divorce. He's hitting up some clubs, he's smoking weed, he's enjoying not having a kid in the house. Right now, the Syndicate is like a 33-year-old dad who is in a divorce. He doesn't want to get into another marriage right now. We're just sort of we're finding ourselves. We were in a relationship and it didn't turn out well through no fault of anyone, that I'll say. And right now we need to find ourselves. We need to learn to love ourselves again before we can love anyone else. And Juana finds love through copious amounts of weed.
Here's the thing. Hey, so you're the dad. So dad. I guess my question.
I'm the cool uncle. Juana's the dad. I'm
so
the cool
you're
uncle.
the creepy uncle or cool uncle. Okay, so my question is how come you agreed to do a military operation, so to speak, and were discussed about Kata entering in this war as it relates to said operation, and then at the last minute yoinked the rug.
I mean, what's the question here? There's been mention of the military operation a few times, and there's been mention of joining the war. So those two things, if you're talking about the thing with the screenshot of Pope being told he leads the military operation, that has nothing to do with anything to do with Midgard or anything like that. And if we're talking about TS being told about joining the war, the screenshot, I don't know if it's even been a screenshot or if it's just been released. I don't know what Kigos has and hasn't released these days. And I can't release it since I got removed from the Sphere Embassy and the other embassy. Ooh, my screen just died. We were told by Kigos about them joining the war. We were told, hey, we're joining the war about half an hour before it happened.
It was
At that
not half an
time,
hour.
it was about...
No, it's not.
The idea was mentioned, and we said we weren't a big fan of it, and then we were told, hey, this is what we're doing about half an hour, 40 minutes before it happened.
Your leader suggested different CBs they could use.
That
screenshot also got leaked. Maybe you didn't see that one, but that one got leaked. That's why I'm talking about it. Is it got leaked? So I believe Kigos posted that in Thalmor Radio.
I ain't in Thalmor radio. Someone give who's friend requesting me? Shut up, P2K. I ain't about that. I haven't seen what the screenshot is. The only thing I can remember about, and again, I got removed from every sort of embassy or group chat. So if you're talking about specifics, I can't see that anymore. Kigo's baby, let me back in. We can talk about this. I can say my things too. But if you're talking about the CBs for Midgard, that question was in there, and it was, hey, you had mentioned before there had been ideas of a potential war with Midgard that we all agreed wasn't going to happen. What sort of
whoa. Who came up with that idea, though? None of us wanted that except for Syndicate. So
it was
us. That was you that brought that up, not us.
No, and like I said, it was. And I said this in. I know both. I said this in.
Yes, one of the Midgard.
I said this in.
You brought this topic, by the way. I did not. That's why I'm talking about it.
Otherwise, no, I know. I got it. We said in Ron. Here we go. Is this the? Is this it?
No, that's a different one. There's a Kigo's Wana leak that Kigo's posted.
Thalmor, bring it up, baby. Thalmor, drop the leak, baby. Yeah, there was mention. We had talked about, hey, who do we want to hit? If there's anyone we want to hit, because it had been understood at that time, there's no way that anyone can go toe to toe, spear to spear against Oreo, and we weren't interested in fighting Oreo unless we were told, hey, this is going to happen. They are going to attack us. We have the proof of it. And so I said, if we can't fight Oreo, we have to fight someone eventually. I said, if we can't do Oreo, what about Midgard? And it was made pretty clear early on that fighting Midgard wasn't going to work.
See, you're welcome, Midgard. You had some fight back on that because we love you, Midgard. We hit you with love. Or kind of hit you with love.
What sort of a relationship is this? You hitting people with love? You guys got some kinky.
I just learned from my parents. I learned from my parents.
You guys got some kinky stuff going on in that bedroom.
I learned from Syndicate and Paradise, or Syndicate and Cataclysm. I learned from my two parents in that relationship. But so
Decagon, I have never laid hands on you. Can you confirm that?
I don't want to talk about it. Okay.
So why do you think Cataclysm defended TKR? Because you know the answer, and I know you did because it was discussed.
I mean, it was mentioned in the. I think there was a leak that straight up said it. Kigos said, "Hey, we want to keep TKR alive because if we have to fight Oreo down the road, we want to keep TKR alive. We need them to fight TKR." That was in the leak screenshot. And we didn't really vibe with the idea because, like I said, we were only supportive of the idea of fighting Oreo if proof was given to us that we had no choice but to fight Oreo, that they were going to attack us. The only way we agreed to fight Oreo, and it was mentioned in one of the screenshots, would be, hey, this is a defensive war. They're going to attack us first. We need to punch. That was the only way the Syndicate had any interest in fighting Oreo, really. And yeah, like Kev said, and I would freely admit it, Paradise and Kata said, no, we don't want to fight Midgard. It's not a good idea. And like I agreed, yeah, okay. My only thing was we can't go forever without fighting a war. We need to fight a war with someone or we're going to be hit for not fighting anyone. And if we can't fight them, we didn't want to fight TKO because TKO was rebuilding from the Hand of Fate war. And we said, fine. If it can't be Oreo, it can't be TKO. The only other option that was around was Midgard, and Cataclysm and Paradise said, we can't win that war, and we don't really want to fight that war. And so we said, okay.
Tarek.
What's up, baby?
One question.
What's up?
And this is part of the fuck you segment. The fuck you segment is real. So I'm going to ask you a real question.
I'm going to give you a real answer.
Does TS know what the reputation is among allies? I don't think I've heard you talk about that specifically.
Good question.
For which reputation? Of the Syndicate?
Yeah.
I mean, I've spoken with some allies that we've had, and I've been told good things, and I imagine, and I don't hate Cataclysm, I don't hate Paradise, and I can understand, hey, there's bad blood there, they're not happy with how things ended, and I can't say you guys shouldn't be upset, because they felt unfairly betrayed, and that's how they feel. But
Yep.
I mean, I feel the history... No, Thalmor. No, we've never been allies with Aurora, by the way.
But my question is about the last year or two. And TS.
The last year or two, we
has
had relationships with, we were allied with Rose. And Rose, things ended with Rose on good terms. I saw Lucy around here somewhere. I think I haven't heard any bad things between us and Rose. Maybe we were allied with Aurora when I was a very new member of the Syndicate. I wasn't around for that, maybe. I don't know. I don't remember that.
All right. It was just a question because as you all find your way, you're obviously looking and you need to be extremely conscious and aware of how you're perceived.
Cthulhu, that's fair, but I'm pretty sure they had something lined up prior to the cancellation, which is why they did it. They're afraid of getting smacked, and they wouldn't just go out on their own without something lined up. So I think they've got something already in the works, but that is a fair point to the rest of the game if anything happens to their current arrangement.
I can only speak for what I know as a VP. I don't know of any treaties that we have going on. So if we got something going on, it's all in Papajuana's head. I don't know anything that's going on. And on Bible, that's my
truth. I don't know about our treaty as well, so like I don't know how we want to take that. Like the MDP we had.
What was that, Deca?
Well, you're saying you don't know about any treaties currently. Like I'm also saying, apparently that applied to the one you had with Kata.
No, I mean, I've put my stance forward on. Is that Dwight Howard? No, who the fuck is that? I put my stance on that on the forums and on Royal Orbis News in the Balkans. If anyone wants to go look through my history, thanks, Lucy. I've always look. I'm looking at this on my phone, big dog. I don't recognize people. What the fuck was I gonna say? Oh, yeah, I have made my stance public on Royal Orbis News in the Balkans. I've made my stance known on the forums. We didn't feel like it was really a war. We didn't like the situation in which
Can I ask
Cataclysm
like that clearly? Was it actually said like if you guys do this, we're having second doubts? Was that ever anything remotely like that really expressed?
The term, it was never stated, if you do this, we will drop you. And
not even that clearly, just anything that's like, we're really having second thoughts about you guys doing this. Anything like that even?
I can't look, like I said, I can't look back at the history of what we said. I think you're still in the group chat. I don't know if you are. I'm not in there anymore. I can't quote myself directly.
Do you think we would have suicided knowingly? Especially if you guys were like, we really don't want you to.
The only thing I remember myself, and I can't speak for what I remember Wana because it was me finding out kind of last notice. But I made it pretty clear that I wasn't comfortable with whatever was going on. I remember Wana saying
at that time. Did you say that though?
I believe I said that I didn't like what was going on. Like I said, I'm not in the embassy anymore. I'm not in the group chat anymore. I can't
sort of respond and say like at the time we didn't like it either. We were sort of making what we thought was a good decision. So I don't know.
Right.
If thinking it's not a great idea shows that it's like, hey, we think it's a bad idea. That's sort of different in my opinion.
Right, because Kata was also expressing like this isn't ideal.
He didn't want to go into it like this at all.
Yeah.
No, I know, and I don't.
The only thing left.
Let me just quickly drop the my last stance because I'm gonna have to head out in like
Then let me say this. Let me say this because this is important. The only thing left that would have happened after this war, had Kata not done that, is a 1v1 with Oreo before the nap ends. That was the last thing. And then you guys would have died. So really, like, I don't know. Like, so here, what's your stance with that in mind too? Because you knew that to be true, as it was stated.
Like I've said on the forums, like I said in the Balkans, I did not believe in. I know I had disagreements with Kigos on this. I was never on the playing ground of. I believe without a doubt, Ouroboros will attack us. I said it will probably happen, but I wasn't willing to take a stance that was going to be aggressive and hostile and attacking towards Ouroboros unless I received definitive cut and dry proof they are coming for us. I was interested in trying to avoid hostilities with people because I had no beef with anyone in Oro. We ended things on good terms with Lucianus and Rose. We ended things years ago with Cataclysm. We don't have beef with them. I didn't want to fight Ouroboros unless I absolutely had to. And so the stance of we need to save TKO because we need to use them against Oro for a war, I wasn't particularly comfortable with it because I didn't believe we needed to fight Ouroboros because we didn't believe.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it was never actually mentioned.
It was less about need to save TKR because we need them from Oro. It was more like we were about to get slammed after this with TKR being taken off the table. We're the only target left too, and it was a matter of trying to pick the best of all of the shitty situations, which was also shitty.
Oreo. Cataclysm has said why they did it, and for Syndicate didn't agree with why it was done. Syndicate didn't feel comfortable with why it was done, and that's why we ended things. But I'm not out here to say what.
That doesn't address what was just said though. You just said it wasn't didn't like how it was done and didn't feel comfortable. But Deca just said that you guys were on board with the whole Oro thing because that was the likelihood is they're going to be hit, and with TKR being taken off the table, it was the only likelihood. And that was expressed to you guys, and you guys didn't say, "Oh, that's not true. There could be other options," or whatever the case may be. You said, I think the response was like, "Yeah, oh, that is a pickle. What could the CB be? Oh, here's some ideas. Oh, hey, Tarak, here's this. I mean, oh man, this is going to be a slog. This is not going to be good." And that's the tone.
If we're looking at what the leaks was, it was me. Hang on, let me find it. It was me being said, "Hey, Deca said, hey, we have the two options. We can do nothing and watch. TKO won't give a damn about our war with Oreo, and we will be self-isolating, accepting that we will fight into nothing, or we offer to intervene." And I said it honest. I don't know how much we could help if we join. We'd win 27 plus, but would we win? But we turned the tide. That was said at 8 a.m. Was that 8 a.m.? I don't know. And at that point, I wasn't comfortable with it. I was only looking at numbers. But I mean, I never felt it was, and I still don't feel, even as paperless right now, I didn't feel at the time, and I don't feel now that it was assured that we would get into a fight with Ouroboros. It might have been likely, but I wasn't comfortable pigeonholing ourselves into a situation where the only option we had was to fight them. Because, like I've said repeatedly, we ended things on good terms with everyone involved in Ouroboros, and unless we had to fight them, I didn't.
Sure, but the problem is yes, okay, agreed, and we remain fluid throughout that, whatever the case may be, which is why it wasn't necessarily solidified at that point. But with them hitting TKR, it takes TKR off the table, which makes it a 100% likelihood that Oreo hits Wayward, which then puts us in the same position. So you guys literally just dipped just to avoid getting hit, which I get because you based on what your concerns were internally on that situation. But the way it was handled was very poor, and it was not communicated. And I'm not sure what other route we could have gone, because then it would have been a 1v1 versus at least burning together with another sphere where there's at least more of a chance. And maybe Oreo doesn't come in if it's just Kata going in. There's all these different things. So I guess that logic just doesn't hold water.
I mean,
did you guys agree to work with Kata and TKR on hitting Oreo? I don't know how else Like just bluntly asking you, were you guys
If it came to it, they did it. If it came to it,
Yeah, we
Sure.
said,
Yeah.
and I don't know if it was one. I don't know if someone's mentioned
Okay,
it.
well, I mean, you know what? We said the same thing, but we didn't hit them either. So I don't really know why it's different for you guys. We didn't hit them. We never hit them, did we? You
We
didn't
never hit
them,
who?
we didn't hit them. No one hit them. So I guess that point doesn't matter really. As we said it, like, yeah, okay, yeah. If things come push to shove, like, sure, yeah.
I mean, I think
We
my
never
stance, and I can't
aggressive
speak for
action,
Wana. My stance on it was, I didn't feel comfortable defending an
You mean the
unaligned
a party
sphere.
that you agreed to work with, though. In the very
We did it. No, I said if we had no other option and it was there, we'd work with them.
Were you working
But it
with
was
them at the
removed. It
current
was
time?
removed as an option when they were hit, and us saying, "Hey, we're gonna be hit. We can work with these people," is different than saying these people are being attacked. We need to join the war to defend
And
them.
that's different than
No,
me
but-
asking, were you working and in active talks?
No,
Your
no one
enemies
in
are
the no one in the syndicate. I didn't, and
There's
Warner
nothing
didn't. No one in
showing
the syndicate.
and TK are talking about this. Nothing at all. You're saying that.
I didn't
You
speak
sure
to
you wanna
anyone in
say
TK.
that?
I haven't spoken to anyone in the. I didn't speak to anyone in TKO, and as far as I know, Wana hasn't.
There's.
oh,
Are you sure there's nothing showing that TKR and Syndicate, ironically, were in an active discussion at any point talking about a coalition against Oreo? And you're saying no?
No, what I'm saying is, I myself did not speak to anyone in TKO, and
You're
I
not
have
aware
no
of it even?
knowledge. I have no knowledge of anyone else in the syndicate speaking to TKO. Anyway, thanks for having me on the show, lads. I gotta go watch my Packers get run over by Derek fucking Henry. Oh,
Thanks, Tarok.
Yep, nice talking to you.
see you, lads.
Okay, Cthulhu, 15 seconds. That's all you have. 15 seconds. Final fuck yous.
I'm gonna
Quick,
send a
quick. One.
Scottish Highlands. That motherfucker during the NPO war was such a douche, and we fucked him up a bunch of times, and he fucked us up a bunch of times. That NPO war was fun as fuck. I don't care what anyone else says. That's it. Fuck you.
Fuck you. Bye, Cthulhu. Thanks for coming on. Actually, no. Fuck you. Okay, Toxic. You had asked Decagon before Cthulhu, before I interrupted, some kind of question. Go ahead and re-ask it. And change up, remove Cthulhu from the stage.
Am I supposed to be talking? Or I wasn't paying attention.
Toxic. Well, Toxic Pepper had asked you a question before I interrupted to let Cthulhu talk. But Pepper appears to be missing. I don't remember what it was either. Morph, what do you think of things in general? Anything?
I think of things all the time. But specifically, I found Tarek's comments very interesting. Quite interesting indeed. I'm also I've been thinking a lot about how 72 hours doesn't mean 72 hours. Something I would love more clarification on at some point. But other than that, I'm having fun, man. I had like the best flash of like my life tonight during this war. I got 4 immense triumphs against one guy, sold off my tanks, and then with only soldiers got 4 more immense triumphs against a guy who apparently didn't have any munitions, and then I stuck 2 missiles. So it's a great night for my war effort here. So life is good, man. Life is good. I might have 0 stuff again, but life is good.
Who was the nation with no ammo?
Some Aurora dude, I guess. Which is weird because like a couple minutes before update, he full navaled me twice, so I assumed he had ammo. But then with only soldiers, I got ITs on him with tanks. So like he had ground. So he must have used all of his ammo or gas navaling me. Which is why you don't do full navals, apparently. It was quite fun.
Decagon. So Toxic can ask, why join a losing war?
It's gonna sound extremely humble, I'm sure, but and it's gonna sound very.
Okay, so I'm actually back. Could I ask it the right way, please?
Oh God.
Okay, so
Go right ahead. Please
I
do.
was trying to make a point with the question. So, okay, so Decagon was making an argument. He's saying, if we knew Eclipse was going to join the war, why would we join a losing war?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
So now use that same argument and tell me how you joining. If that's your argument, why would you join a losing war? Is it Midgard a winning war at that point?
you're not gonna like the answer probably, and I doubt you'll agree, because the truth is we did join a war, and we're losing. And I know you're gonna say, well, Eclipse came in. I know you're gonna say that, so you don't have to. But we went in on like basically a barely non-peacetime build, and it was like a trickle in. You can't really deny that we didn't have like full cata going in. It was like a chunk here, some people there. We did it because we were working with TKR. Like it wasn't about Midgard, it was about TKR. It could have been any block against hitting TKR, and we would have probably done the same thing. I can't say for sure, but we didn't see any better option. It was either that or like, hey, well, now there's GGO in the map, there's Midgard and TKR doing their thing. The only like, what's next for like the other two? Not the only two, but the other two like bigger blocks. Well, what can Wayward do? Not much. What can Wayward do? Who knows?
Okay,
So we just move.
So what your logic implies, though, right? When
We're
you're
defending someone we were working with. Like it's really that. I know it sounds sort of corny, but
it was more the like we were about to get hosed hard with a 1v1 versus Oreo, all of Oreo at that point. If we didn't go in, if Kata did not go in, and if Kata did go in my opinion, there was at least some sliver. Was Oreo going to join? Probably, but there was at least a better chance that they didn't go in with that even war versus them 100% going to hit later down the road on a 1v1 that we will for sure lose, and then probably be forced to sign a nap or some crap or dragged out or whatever the case may be. And then at that point you have withheld and TKR sphere, and I don't even know if they could beat Oreo.
I think the big thing is
Hell no.
This is our point of view. Like this is what we believed, and I know you're not going to agree with it, maybe. But like,
so actually, if I could quickly bring up why I'm making this argument, is because by your logic, you wouldn't join a losing war, is what I'm saying. And the argument is that you guys claim that Midgard was an even war, and you didn't know that you would win, or you. Yeah. So, but your same logic is saying that if we knew Eclipse was going to join, why would we?
Okay, so listen again. There was a better chance of them not joining that war. There's the chance. You have to play odds. So when you're making decisions, you got to look. Okay, what decision's the best decision? In this case, there were no good decisions, right? So if you're trying to make the best decision, and Oreo is 100% going to hit you before the nap ends,
do you have proof of that, or is that just an assumption?
Common sense. Ask any person that's played this game more
if
than
we're going to
year.
use that,
Common sense.
Common sense is Cataclysm joins the war, turns around. It's 100.
So it doesn't. So based on common sense, history, and experience, it was 100% likely in our view. Like that was the logic. I'm explaining what the logic is, which you said you didn't care about earlier. Now you care about it. It's fine. I'll go back into it. So So anyway, so what the
But okay.
you said it didn't matter what our reasons were, but you said it's not about you're making
well,
it about
reason-
data. But
okay.
anyway, the
Yeah,
point
reason
being
about-
is the better situation was to join in on this specific conflict versus waiting to have the one-on-one with Oreo and then be forced into a nap where then there would be no other partners to hit Oreo, right? So like that's where the situation comes in, right? So that's
See it in that
the
leak,
logic.
we discussed that outcome. Like you can see it in that leak. Like we discussed, like shit, we might have to do this, and then maybe we'll just do that. Like you can see it in there. Like that was our point of view. That's what I'm telling you now, and you can even see it in that chat. Like it's
No, I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't make sense for you to join the war. Okay, the argument was that, Cataclysm joined, the war was even. That's what I'm arguing against. It's not even. If the Eclipse didn't join, it's not even.
Right, but we weren't for sure. We weren't for sure Eclipse was going to join. That was, I mean, it was very, very likely they were probably going to join. But again, it goes back to risk mitigation, trying
Actually,
to
I
make
do
the
have
best
a question
decision.
about that. Did that thought cross your minds that Eclipse would join this war or no?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
'cause, well,
We thought all of
you
Oreo would
say
join
that.
in, potentially.
Okay.
hmm
So how about this, right? You guys are joining this war. You have the thought, it crosses your mind that Eclipse might join this war.
It might. Mhm.
But you also have an ally who's saying they're not sure and they want to join this war.
they didn't say that.
Well,
They're
they
saying
said
they felt that way, but there was no. I mean, you heard them. There was no clear like, we don't want you to do this. Like that wasn't the case.
Correct.
They might have said.
Okay, didn't they say something along the lines? Oh, they said we won't stop you. That's not really a show of full support.
It's nothing. It's meaningless, really.
And
yeah.
on top of it, you
Yeah.
might have missed it, Toxic, but we've talked about this before. TS was even recommending CBs that Kata could use on Midgard. I mean, like, so there was some collaboration there. It was understood that this was the path that would, and there was no fight against it. The only fight, quote unquote, fight was that, hey, like, look at the tiering on here. We can maybe help here, but it doesn't look ideal. That was their fight on it. That doesn't really ring to a whole opposite. That doesn't really say, hey, we don't like you doing this. Don't do this. We're upset with this. That was not expressed. I can tell you there were other things we talked about doing before, like some of our different game plans, and they said, no, we do not want to do that. So it's not like they don't have a history of giving their opinion on stuff. So that's what you're saying is just a bunch of, it's nothing burger.
We joined because it was the right thing to do. We were gonna work with a group.
Oh,
And
did
they
you
got
have
hit.
like for
I know
sure?
others can't say that, but like that's why. It's the right thing to
Were
do.
you like? Sorry, you still on? Okay, I'm gonna speak. All right, so were you like for sure that TKR or Withheld Sphere would, after you defend them, would go on the offense to Oro?
Hey, based on things now, man, people's words apparently mean nothing. I mean, you can even sign a treaty and it doesn't mean anything. So, but all we had to do was
Did you have
make
that
the best
confirmation?
decision.
Did you have that confirmation?
They had to make a judgment call from their point of view.
You guys
If we lose a war in November, there's probably no way that we would want to go to war again in January, considering that we had just gotten one rebuild cut short from Hoth, and then go into war again in a couple months whenever Hog came out of the nap. That would seem unlikely. So they had to decide that the only way that they could possibly get us involved was if we didn't manage to lose this war. That was probably their, if I'm not overstepping, is that probably your, does that sound like your train of thought? Like the only way that we would help you guys if we didn't lose a war here in November?
I mean, if you would help who exactly? Like,
Like if
we
in a war against any possible war where Oro is going to hit somebody, because the general, I think, consensus among most people was that, right, Oreo napped GGO until January. Most people had the idea probably that they're not just going to sit on their hand until GGO comes out of that nap, right? They're going to hit somebody. I think that's what most people are probably thinking.
Well, there's a reason why they set the nap, and it's the reason why they put the
Sure.
time frame for what they put it as.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, so in the likeliest targets for Oreo to hit,
Either
is
withheld or
either
us.
or Wayward.
Mm-hmm.
So in that situation, it's either somebody dies alone or possibly two people fight together.
All right. So before Cataclysm joined, did you guys talk to each other, TK or Cata?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Plenty of people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Was there a
Oh, yeah.
preference in that if they join, you will go on the offense to Oro?
Say that again. If they join, they go on the offensive
If
with Oro.
Cataclysm joins this war and helps us, we will fight Oro with you.
It wasn't like a
There was
quick
no
flow like
tit
that.
for tat.
Yeah,
There was no, if you come in, we'll do this. It was
this. Yeah, it was the
Yeah.
situation and understanding. So we talked to Withheld about the political situation and what was going on. TS was a part of that conversation, etc. As far as what are we going to do about this? Because Oreo, just like Morph said, Oreo is clearly going to hit either or, and like we're boned. And again, like from our point of view, is with TKR being slotted. I don't know how many times I have to say this before it hits home, but with TKR being slotted and with them
But
being
I'm not arguing
smacked,
that point. I'm not arguing that point, though. I think you missed my point.
maybe I did.
I'm not arguing that point. I know why Cataclysm joined. I understand why Cataclysm joined, and it makes sense for them to join. I'm not saying that it doesn't make sense. But at the same token, it also makes sense for Eclipse to join, right? But that's not even what my argument.
Yeah, I agree.
What my argument was at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess we're just not going to get to the. We're not going to.
We're just going in a circle then because I'm not
We're
understanding.
just going to go in a circle.
I think what you're
Yeah.
trying to ask is, did we ask Cata to come in? Right? Is that what you're saying? Is that you're trying to get at?
Yeah, if there was like some sort of deal you guys made before. I mean, it's not like you would.
Nope.
There was
expose
no
yourself
deal. We
or,
were
like-
pretty surprised when you hit us. We thought we were dead because we were. I mean, we thought we could still fight it, but you got us completely by surprise without builds. We were trying to wake people up. We thought we were dead. And then Cata said, hey, no, we're coming. It wasn't a.
I think they had no
It
idea.
wasn't
Oh,
any
how
arrangement. It wasn't a
soon
treaty.
Yeah. How
It
soon
wasn't
after
any
the
of that.
blitz did they say that?
Say that
Huh?
again.
How soon after we blitzed you guys did they say that?
I mean, they
That they
didn't
were
come
coming.
in until midnight Central Time. We didn't know they were coming until.
Whenever you blitz, but it took us like 6 hours to like
Talk within the block and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we did
'cause
not
it was-
know they were coming in like 2 seconds after the blitz. It was hours.
I can tell you right when Midgard hit TKR sphere, I do know Kigaz is like, well, shit. I'm guessing we have to go in, probably, right? Is the train of thought. So that's when the conversation kind of started.
It was.
Then we had a conversation within Wayward. And then at that point, when it became more and more serious and that there's no objections to it, everyone was like, yeah, I guess that makes the most sense of the situation. And then that's when TKR was engaged as far as what the plan was, what the idea was. So.
Okay.
But there was no arrangement, like secret treaty, anything like that. It was you hit us. We were trying to plan our counter stuff and try to figure that out. And then hours later, Cata told us they were coming in. And we weren't going to say no because that obviously we could use the help at that point. But we appreciate Cata's noble sacrifice of their planes.
I didn't think anyone would want to hear that, but like that's we sent like 25 people in on like 1 day build. Like I know it sounds corny, like why would you do it unless you thought something special was going to happen? The truth is, like, they were people that we didn't like. I mean, just look at the results.
I was trying to get to bed. I wish they would have came in like.
I thought you were trying to get a job.
Well, at that point, it was midnight, man. I was trying to go to sleep. I was trying to go to bed. And I would have definitely preferred something. Like, if it was instant, it would have been great. But it wasn't.
Anyway, my main argument was that, like, I'm going to call out Thalmor here, but people keep saying, oh, Cata joining base. Eclipse joining, not good. Because Cata made the fight fair, even.
Mm-hmm.
My whole argument is no, it was not even. When Cata joined, I mean, you also have to take competence into consideration. They focused Aurora. We have the most 30+. I mean,
Toxic, why don't you think the rest of Wayward joined? They're like Paradise. Oh, well, now because TS leaves now, but
well,
I can tell you they were fine with it. Why didn't Paradise join? Why didn't these other people join? You know what I mean? Like if it was about just, oh, we're gonna roll them, dogpile them. If you think that was the case, no, it was because it was so that way it was as even as possible while
Paradise
still.
did join just later on.
No, I know. Well, once Eclipse was confirmed to join in, it was after Eclipse already was milling up and hitting. So
Yeah,
that's
but
not...
you didn't just hit Eclipse; you hit other members of Midgard as well. So
yeah, because at that point at that point we're in the coalition at that point. So yeah.
Well, I mean, you don't activate your defensive treaty by hitting Midgard because the offensive is on Kata, and we didn't hit Kata. The alliance that hit Kata was Eclipse. Your defensive activation is supposed to be on Eclipse, not really Aurora.
So Eclipse joined your coalition, and you said earlier that they were within your coalition chat. Obviously, they joined, et cetera, et cetera. So clearly, you guys are working together. So clearly,
no.
One side versus the other. So it doesn't even matter. So no, I'm saying currently you guys are working together. I'm not talking about the pre-whatever. So I'm saying currently you guys are working together. It's a coalition. Look at any global ever. That's how this works.
That's not
so
really,
we were done this cool. It's a you're again. This is pointless. Like there's nothing there.
I mean, not really. I mean, your defensive treaty is only on Eclipse, not really Aurora or anybody in Midgard. You hit Midgard as kind of you're following Cat at that point with aggression.
At that point, yeah, it's aggression onto Midgard itself, since none of us hit Kata.
Okay.
Other than encounters.
Okay, it really doesn't matter. Like this doesn't. But okay.
Okay. Anyway, what were we saying? What were we saying earlier?
I don't even know at this point. I'm a little confused.
Oh yeah, you're just saying. Oh, why didn't Paradise join? Right? Why didn't Syndicate join? And because Kata wanted to make an even fight.
There was I think from Kata's perspective and Paradise and even TS, I think there was probably a very fair calculus that they thought that all of Oreo was going to come in. It was a coin toss, and Eclipse started milling pretty quickly after they came in. It was.
Oh well, yeah, that kind of makes sense. I mean, if all of Wayward is going to join, then obviously Aura is going to want to hop in. I was told Carthago people were going to be here. Where are my boys in Carthago at?
Probably sleeping.
But yeah, there's no bad blood between Aurora, TKR, or anybody really. So.
What about Aurora and Kata?
Huh?
What about Aurora and Kata?
Well, you kind of tried to rain on our parade, and we don't really like that. And you entered on, no treaty. So.
And you're beating us, and you won the PR game.
Okay, well, I mean, you keep saying we're beating you, but it doesn't change the fact that you still joined with no treaty. So most of Midgard are still not happy with that.
Well, I hope you can understand where they were coming from. At least you said you did understand it, so hopefully that could help put your mind at ease and your anger.
You can understand it and not like it.
No one has been anti. Yeah, we agree. We agree.
I think there's a misconception about secret treaties. Like, somebody entering into a war that they're not treated into does not make it a secret treaty. A secret treaty is an actual treaty that means you're obligated to join. That's like what happened with.
Or you've already agreed to join before. Think like Guns N' Roses. Guns N' Roses was like a secret treaty between Rose and
they were in
instant,
that same night.
That's right.
Yeah, I agree with that, but you can't fault people for thinking it was a secret treaty.
I understand. I'm not questioning people saying it's a secret treaty. I'm just saying there was not a secret treaty.
Correct.
Okay. But, all right. Well, I mean, I guess people make that conclusion based off the leaks that were coming out and the coalition building going on. So
leaks.
But even if there was coalition building going on, a coalition is not a treaty. A coalition is just a hey, let's possibly work together here. Like I've had a couple coalitions that I've made with people that never saw the light of day because I fell apart for X, Y, or Z reason.
Right.
It wasn't a binding agreement or a binding arrangement. It was just something that we thought, hey, let's possibly do this. And then
Yeah.
the situation
No,
ended
I'm
up
not
not
arguing.
happening.
I'm not arguing that point. I agree with you. I'm not arguing that point. I'm just saying why people might go to that conclusion that it was a secret treaty because there's just so many things pointing towards, oh, this is possibly a secret treaty. That's all.
That's fair. I mean, yeah, you're more than free to think it's a secret treaty, but that's
I mean, it's kind of like, well, Kev kind of wanted to say that Eclipse and Midgard had a secret treaty.
I didn't say that.
You did actually accuse Khan of that in the Thalmor show the other day. You were like, it's pretty obvious you have a secret treaty. Come on, don't lie. Like that's.
I didn't say secret treaty.
Pretty sure you did.
Nope.
Okay, well, I guess somebody could pull up the recording, but I'm pretty sure you called them out on a secret treaty.
I said it's hypocritical for you guys to claim secret treaty when it's obvious that you had been communicating with Eclipse, which, I mean, that's fine. Again, you communicating with Eclipse on the situation is totally fine, as I've said 100 times tonight. And that's why I thought it was a lame thing to toss out because it wasn't true, and B, you had an outside force come in as well.
Well, the outside force acted on their own as a reaction to the
Did
first
they give you
person.
a heads up about that, by the way? Did they say like, hey, we're gonna like? Was there any? Well, I guess that's probably OPSEC, so whatever.
Did who give us heads up?
Like, were you guys caught off guard that Eclipse came in to save the day?
Well, I don't want to say caught off guard, and no, they did not give us a heads up. Honestly, what we were thinking was going to happen, as soon as Eclipse started milling up, we were like, okay, this is going to probably get really big, right? And then we saw TS or whoever warmed up after that. What I assume was going to happen, Eclipse hits
Yes,
you
I'll tell you
guys.
that.
Okay, so Eclipse hits TS, and then Syndicate hits Eclipse, and then Rose joins. That's the outcome that I thought was going to happen.
would have been pretty awesome, actually. That would have been like
that would have been pretty awesome. And then you have like Hog and Odd Bunch. Who knows what they would do? That would have been awesome if they joined too, actually.
Toxic, did you find it sort of odd that Syndicate didn't mill up at all?
So we did see like a mill up. I didn't really pay attention to how much they milled up.
They went to 550.
Yeah, I think they went 055 something.
Yeah, I was like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, did you think that's like odd MMR? Like,
okay, I guess that's odd, and I know you want me to say that.
No, I'm not, I know what you think, but I'm not. I am a little bit, but I'm not.
It is weird that they would not instantly go 5553 after Eclipse Rose.
At least in defense, like a defense. Hey, we don't like if the logic is they're worried about getting drug into something. You would think like, okay, well, mill up in defense. But
yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah,
that's my logic. Is yeah, and I can reference this to like when Celestial and GGO were fighting, and Hand of Fate jumped in and sort of was picking at both sides. When Clock was still around, and that Celestial Hollywood War ended, and Hand of Fate stayed militarized, there was a like, hey, is Hand of Fate looking at our way maybe? And Eclipse militarized, and we militarized in accordance just for defense purposes. And I know, Kata isn't Syndicate, but I don't know. It seems maybe militarized like not to go offensive, but at least defensive.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I mean, if Aurora was in that position, we would have milled up instantly. So
yeah, so I'm just it's worth mentioning. That's all I'm saying. It's worth mentioning that they weren't really concerned if you go by the logic of you would probably militarize defensively.
So I feel like they knew. Well, I feel like they knew that Aura wouldn't hit TS because, well, looking from the outside, they have no reason to hit TS because TS didn't do anything. They have a reason to hit you.
Treaty.
So I guess.
With us at the time.
Huh?
Well, they had MVP, so like fear. If they were saying like Kata, if their logic was like Kata, you guys shouldn't do this. It's something bad's gonna happen. Also, we're tied to you. Please don't drag us in. Like the logic doesn't go to like we're gonna militarize just to be extra safe because we don't like what you're doing.
So what I'm assuming is when Syndicate saw Eclipse milling up, maybe they decided then and there that this is over with Cataclysm. They put us in a corner.
Do you think Eclipse
And
like read their
we're gonna
minds
get
and
rolled
knew
either
that?
way now.
Do you think Eclipse like maybe knew that telepathically and we're like, it's okay, don't worry about them?
No, because
I don't
both
know how
Eclipse
that
and
would have been.
Rose. Well, no, because both Eclipse and Rose were milling up, right? I think
Yeah,
Eclipse.
everyone
I think
but
the plan. Yeah, I think, and also Vanes did say this, or yeah, Vanes did say this. And Ron, the plan was that Eclipse hits you guys, and then Syndicate counters you, and then they had Rose ready to come in after Syndicate counters Eclipse. So that was their plan, I guess.
Yeah, if only I mean, it would make sense if certain parties like knew that though that shouldn't have known that. Like it's it looks like Syndicate either knew or gambled on the outcome. And clearly based on them abandoning Kata on their decision, they don't seem like a very gamblish type. They seem like a very like we don't like this, we're bailing. But don't worry, we're MDP'd with you and you're gonna get hit, but we're not worried about us getting hit. And that's like that goes don't in my mind don't add up.
Yeah, I think
Well-
the next move by Syndicate is going to be very telling. I mean, I highly doubt anyone even doubts that at this point. I'm guessing Midgard doesn't even doubt that that's the case, what you just said, Deca. But I'm like, it like basically officially confirms everything once they make their next move.
You guys are saying you think that Syndicate plotted.
No.
They for sure had conversations. If you don't think they had conversations, I'm not saying they plotted this war.
Okay, but
although that would
really
be some like
depends.
8D chess there. That'd be sweet.
So what kind of really depends in this scenario is when do you think they started plotting? Do you think they started plotting before Kata joined
No.
or after Kata joined?
No, I think it was probably after, would be my guess. Because they were on board with it, and then all of a sudden they flipped their script real quick. So I'm guessing they found their path out, and that's when like they're kind of like poking a stick in different holes and seeing where if they can strike gold in it. You know what I mean? My analogies are really good, but you know what I'm saying? But for sure they're in conversation.
I mean, I don't want to go as far as that and say that they were literally plotting against their own M levels, because that is if something like that gets leaked, that is pretty much a nail in the coffin for your entire
Not really
reputation.
defending your MDPs too.
I mean, like it's pretty. Again, it goes down to just connecting the dots at this point because not many things are outright said, right? So you don't need leaks to confirm stuff. You can just kind of connect the dots a lot of the times too, right?
Well, I mean, there can be coincidences. I mean, you can't really just go off of connecting dots like that. I mean, just like people can't go off of connecting dots and saying, "Oh, look, coalition building, aka Kata, TKR, secret treaty." That's kind of like what you're doing right now.
That's fair. Yeah, that is fair. There's just so many different coincidences where the secret treaty thing is just based on one thing, where the other is based on a series of things, right? So at a certain point, it stops being a coincidence.
Yeah, I mean, the really important factor here is both Cataclysm and Syndicate. The only two who know truly what's going on there, and the only way anybody else is going to know. Like, I know you're confident, you're speaking your side. Syndicate denies everything. So it's kind of like he said, she said, unless somebody's willing to.
Right, but then there was, which
Yes,
I mean, Kata did provide, which I'm not going to condone because I don't like giving leaks myself because I like.
You should follow.
I want the same respect. I want the same respect. So anyway, with that said, the stuff that Kata showed kind of like TS will put out stuff, and then Kata showed, nope, that's not true. So then that kind of goes against the credibility there. You think, along with all the quote unquote coincidences, like I feel like it leads to one answer.
Don't make us great, but it makes us right in the regards of like the context of like Syndicate says this. Well, here you go. Screw it. Here's a snippet that doesn't prove that, and it's not like it's nothing amazing on our end, but we're countering with proof. So
Yeah. Well, what was the point that you countered? What did they say? What did you leak?
I don't know. Nothing. No, I'm
Like,
kidding.
yeah.
I'd have to look.
I remember one, right? They said that they weren't on board, and then you leaked the one that said we
I
won't
mean,
stop you.
You can see there's a sort of like an active discussion and no real opposal. And you were here when Terra was in the
They
call, and I'm
literally
thinking,
said that they told Kata that they did not support it and were not on board, but that never came out. That's a fact. That was not. They can't. The Kata gave. Hey, go ahead, leak that we said that you told us that. That never happened. Like
They weren't on board with Cataclysm joining the war, like this war, or they weren't on board with the
correct. And on the forums, Tarak said that Syndicate communicated to Kata that they were not support it.
Well, I mean, saying we won't stop you is not really a show of support, though.
it's nothing.
It's also not saying that they don't support it.
Okay, so in this case, the onus is on who to clarify?
Syndicate, because they didn't honor their treaty.
For someone
Well,
who's
isn't the onus on the aggressor, though, in this case, especially one where you're
No.
going to defend a different sphere? That's not. I mean, if I was the aggressor in this case, I'd be like, I'd go to my M levels and say, hey, I'm going to be doing this. Do you fully support me? Will you help me if I get fucked?
We're gonna pretend that Syndicate, who's like all about like written treaties, couldn't muster up the words and say, "We don't want you to do this." They're all about charters and articles and treaties, but they couldn't say anything more than "We won't stop you." Does that say we don't want you to, or does that say we want you to, or does it just say, "Hey, we're
It's
gonna
an
do nothing"?
indifferent approach. It's an indifferent
They're all
approach.
about treaties and articles and charters. I would reference our MDP with them and how that went. But they couldn't say, we don't want you to do this. Okay. All right, sure.
Well, I guess there's a lot of context here.
Not in
play,
what they
right?
said. The context
If
is
you-
we won't stop you, which says nothing.
Well, if you go into it headstrong, right? Like James is in the call. If I go to TI and say, like, I'm doing X and X, and you're like, maybe you give a little bit of pushback like they did, which is like, oh, we can't really fight this war. And then you're like, no, I think we can. We're still going to do it. And then at that point, they're like, okay, well, we won't stop you. It's not that context is kind of important. If you're going in headstrong and their response is, we won't stop you because you keep pushing at it, do you think that that's their fault?
If they said, we're going to stop you, I would think
No,
absolutely.
oh.
They said they wouldn't. Yep, we won't. I don't know
Yeah,
why we should assume that means
Without saying that and they didn't say that they didn't like it or anything like that. The only thing they said is it's going to be a tough slog, except for this tier. That's it.
Well,
That's not.
You kind of can assume that they're not really for this war if they're already complaining about, oh, this is too hard.
No, because their MO was complaining a lot, and that doesn't even matter. They're coming up with CBs for Kata against mid.
I mean,
So,
I had
that's
plenty of wars where I thought it was going to be a tough war, but I still fight more.
That doesn't matter.
Maybe they need a morph. They need a good morph. Believe in yourself.
They probably could use a believe in themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're believing in ourselves in CAD at the moment.
I'm proud. Kata finally
work.
they learned to believe in themselves. All of my coaching
I would say
finally.
if Syndicate told Kata that they didn't want us to do it, then why are we doing it? The only thing is they didn't say that. There you go. Like, problem solved. It's not like a logic riddle where you go around the craziest routes possible. They just never said that to us.
Not only that, they understood the situation and they made clear that they understood the situation and that they were going to partake in the situation due to the situation. How many times can I say situation? So it's like it's a 180. It's a 180.
I knew Syndicate was gonna ditch us after doing this. If I knew that, I'm sorry, Morph, but you got to believe in yourself. Maybe I'm not sure what would have happened then. I'm not sure.
I believe in myself, man. I'm having fun, dude.
It's like that's a lot different than what happened.
I mean, then the ball goes to Kata's court as far as how they want to handle the relationship. If Syndicate says, "Hey, we don't support this. If you do this, we're outie. Like we don't support this." And if Kata does it anyway, then that makes Kata the ass bags, in my opinion.
I think
bad allies.
I think you can kind of put a little bit of blame on both sides here. Syndicate should have been more clear that they don't support it, and then Cataclysm should have also pushed for that full support.
So Syndicate literally said, we support it. Like this
Oh,
is
but-
we're on the same
oh.
page, and then they dropped us out of nowhere.
No, but I thought
Here's
this
what
was
I believe.
really said we won't stop you. That's what I saw.
Here's what I believe in my heart of
If
hearts.
you're gonna do that or not?
If Rose was the primary alliance in Withheld Sphere and TKR was with Oro, TS would have fought.
I think so too.
It's the fact that it was TKR they were coming to save.
Oh, yeah,
but-
probably. I mean, that also kind of plays into it, right? Syndicate doesn't like TKR. It's very public that they don't like TKR.
So treaties are meaningless, and really at the end of the day, everything's an ODP.
No.
Good to know your FA stance.
No, that's not my point.
You're fine. Made it clear.
I'm just saying,
that's not
if
my
it
point. No,
was,
my point is,
makes sense.
you didn't
maybe they
realize
weren't
that
on
your
board because
MVP
it's
there
TKR.
have the TKR hate trumps the defense clause.
Ah, gotcha.
Because you didn't write the
Okay.
treaty out. Rookie mistake.
Yeah, sorry, man.
Okay, by the way, Borg asked, is Eclipse countering for Midgard, or are they hitting Kata because of opportunism? Pretty sure they're hitting Kata because they saw what was coming to them.
They're
Which is-
hitting.
Really?
They're hitting Midgard for pragmatism, not opportunism.
Wait, Eclipse is hitting Midgard since when?
I just think it's weird that they Eclipse hit.
Oh, Eclipse is
and
countering.
we're really
Oh.
concerned about Syndicate. Like, it's-
Eclipse is getting their nap with Wayward one way or the other. That's what's happening here.
Yeah. So, what are you guys' plans after wartime? Cataclysm. You guys have a new home?
Listen, just check the food market, man. We're in this for
Food
the-
market.
we're in this for as I say now, we're in it for the long haul.
I'm a little
Our
sad that
numbers
I
are
wasn't
ecstatic.
selling food.
Speak for yourself. Toxic
Yeah.
Pepper, think of the children. That's all I have to say. The
Yeah.
children of this messy divorce. Mm.
Kata members haven't been really like they've never been allowed to nuke an Arrow 404 for the most part. And like our members are going wild. Like they're like begging. It's fun. I will say like it's a good way to lose, in my opinion. Like our members
that's
are
good.
happy. Like there's not a lot of really bad blood or tension, in my opinion. It's a good win on your guys' side, and on our side, it's like our members get to finally drop nukes. Like it's good. Like it's nice.
I think most of the bad blood is between TS and Kata from this
I'd
situation.
agree.
Not so much towards Midgard.
Yeah, I'd agree.
At least from their end. Apparently that's from what you're saying, Toxic. That's not from your point of view, though. Obviously, you guys absolutely hate Kata, right?
Well, that's not what I said. We just didn't like them joining the war. We didn't appreciate that. We're not happy with that. So
I'm
So
sorry.
is it true? Do you not like Kata? Are you do you not have a grudge against Kata?
who knows? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Can't really answer that right now.
Who could?
Well, I mean, it depends. You know, like over time, things change. So, really depends on how it plays out after this war.
I said it before. Today's friends, tomorrow enemy, vice versa. It's
Hate and
Never
dislike
changing.
are such strong words, Kev.
Yeah,
Dislike? I said dislike. I said hate at first, and I said dislike, didn't I?
I mean, I'm on speaking terms with both Deca and you guys. We talked quite a bit recently, at least. So, and there's no like hate there. So.
I blame
Call it
Krampus, because
disappointment.
If Krampus wouldn't have had Spank and all this stuff, then he wouldn't have ended up in withheld, and then the stuff with TKR, Kata wouldn't be felt obligated, yada yada. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, what we've arrived at is Royal Orbis news is terrible. Krampus bad.
Withheld wouldn't have TKO, and Kata wouldn't be in a war.
Wait, is Krampus in the call right now?
No, he's
Oh man,
No.
I wish he was here.
All right, guys. It's been almost 3 hours. How do y'all feel? Do y'all think you've talked everything over?
I think we're at the halfway point.
Yeah. Have a.
The people involved are pretty good, I think.
We haven't even got
Oh,
started yet on the mini spheres versus bipolarity or tripolarity again. You know, we should probably do that for the second act.
Wayward's smaller than it's ever been before. So mini spheres. By the way, anyone want to join Wayward?
You guys can be bees if you want. Maybe.
Oh, by the way, when did you guys change your sphere name? Like, I didn't even know about that.
It's always been bee sphere. Don't listen to anyone that says otherwise.
Oh yeah, I
That's
swear I saw a forum
such a
post that
term.
said it's a withheld sphere, and we don't know the name or something.
The name was withheld at the beginning, as in it was withheld. Like we didn't have a name. It wasn't that our name was withheld. We said it was withheld because we didn't have a name. But if you paid attention, Roberts and I have been calling it bee sphere for months, but no one listens to Roberts and I. So
That's explainable. No, I'm kidding.
That's okay. I'll continue calling it withheld. It's better anyway.
I'm pinging Robert so he can come and defend bee sphere. Oh,
Here's a
okay.
question, unless
If you guys want to permanently cycle Lord of Puns, I would appreciate it.
so what Borg mentioned is it would make sense to nap. What is like anyone here like unbiased of their own block? Like, what do you think that would look like if / when Wayward's in a nap? And then I'm only using January coming around because that's when the only other existing nap would expire. So like, what does anyone have any thoughts as to like what the landscape looks like?
Just keep cycling it through. Although
That's the Oreo dream.
if Syndicate, like I believe Pablo pointed this out, if Syndicate does end up doing a treaty that then effectively kills microspheres, maybe that, I don't know, maybe that changes the situation. Otherwise, it's just never-ending naps.
Yeah, it depends how long this war lasts, and then how peace gets handled is going to be interesting too. Like, no one's talking peace yet, but is it going to be like, is Midgard and Eclipse all in a coalition, or is Midgard and Eclipse only against Eclipse, and then Midgard only against Beastsphere? It'll be interesting to see how that gets settled when it actually comes down to it.
To me, it's just weird how heavily Aurora was defending Syndicate, how heavily Aurora was defending Eclipse and stuff and chat. So I don't know if hopefully it's not a long-term thing, you know what I mean? To answer or for what you're talking about, Morph. But there's been a lot of support for people that they aren't, talking about. I'll make fun of TKR all day, but I haven't heard Toxic give those guys crap. So I'm hoping.
The nap makes early January or mid-January like not a big surprise. If I like not having naps. There's still like that sort of cycle, but it's like more flexible and more fluidic. And with the naps, it's like, well, wonder what's gonna happen in January, February. Any guess, guys? Any guess at all?
Oh gosh,
I could be wrong, but like it's not. It wouldn't be surprising.
my only guess was that there would be a war in November or December, and now there's a war in November, so I don't know what's gonna happen.
Prove me wrong, Midgard. Take up arms against the evil Oreo.
Oh, by the way, yeah, you brought up Aurora not being so openly attacking Oreo.
Critical, rather. More complimentary, yeah.
I'll say we didn't show support for Oreo, but we also, in the same token, did say that Oreo is literally a product of Hollywood. You guys were shitting on Rose Syndicate for so long, and Rose, and also with the clock breakup, Kata joined Syndicate, and then Eclipse was pretty much left on their own. And then Rose was like, "Oh look, Eclipse is open, and these guys have been shitting on us forever. So now it's our turn to shit on them." And I mean, my thought process was like, "Well, great for them. It's time for revenge, I guess, after Hollywood has been winning for so long."
I don't know if that one thing's bad. Like it makes the other thing not go like hey, Hollywood, no. And then everyone breaks up and it's like time to make the new Hollywood.
I guess the reason I'm so against Hollywood is because we were right there. Okay, Minispheres was right there. Quack broke up. We were all going into our own. And actually, Kev and Decca. Actually, there's 3 people here who made Hollywood. So anyway, we were right on the cusp of Minispheres, right? Then you have Hollywood coming out of nowhere, literally fuck it up for everybody. And then for a whole year, they were like, well, we don't give a shit. Just come roll us then, knowing that nobody could really kill them or beat them. So they were like, well, come roll us then. I mean, when you have that attitude, then obviously you're going to...
No. So you just confirmed earlier in the show that Rose had secret treaties with those people. And you said, oh, no, yeah, that was a secret treaty, but blah, blah, blah. So it was known that Rose had secret treaties with these other blocks, which made that bigger than Hollywood, which is why Hollywood formed in the first place, which was only supposed to be a coalition, which is why Kata bailed after.
Wait, what do you mean?
After that war. So anyway, so to say, oh, Hollywood was this huge hegemony, no. So the whole...
It was a hegemony. You can't deny that. It was a hegemony.
And so to say that the mini-sphere thing, like, yeah, I get it, because, I'm mad at Hollywood for destroying mini-spheres. We have literally never had more spheres than we had now besides Oreo. That's why it's such a huge advantage that they have, is because everyone else split into these little pockets, and then Oreo went super, super huge because you just said they wanted quote-unquote revenge. So, I mean, I think you have misplaced anger there. You know what I mean? It just sounds weird.
I don't think so. I mean, when your whole attitude for a whole year while you're winning the game is, and people are like telling you, hey, you should break up, you're too big, and your whole attitude is like, well, do something about it.
We did.
And obviously. Yeah, no, you broke up.
We're trying to.
How long, how many times beating, your opponents? You won the game for I don't know how long. So now you have Rose who has that opportunity to step up. And, it's our turn now to fuck with TKR because they did it to us.
You say winning the game, but they got smacked on. You know who actually won the game for so long up until this war? Kata. So that was the right way of doing it, not Hollywood. So I don't know, man. Like you're talking about, like, first of all, we weren't in Hollywood, so you're saying you, and I'm assuming you mean Hollywood. Am I right on that? Because you were in Clock. So with Cataclysm, you're saying that you guys were winning the game for a year, et cetera, et cetera.
Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean Hollywood. Yeah.
Okay,
that's my take. Hollywood did nothing wrong.
Yes, Hollywood. Okay, wait. If Hollywood did nothing wrong, then Oreo is doing nothing wrong. Perfect.
No, because the difference between the one sphere and the next is, but whatever. It's irrelevant at this point. Oreo's got a break for that. So
if Hollywood was doing what Oreo is doing now, we would have rolled people, napped them, and to roll someone else. We didn't really do it that way. We just kind of fought somebody, chilled, fought somebody, purposely pushed, no naps, purposely pushed, white piece only. We might have been the top dog, but we were a pretty chill top dog.
And it wasn't the difference between number 1 and number 2 sphere wasn't as large as Oreo is to the next. Not even close.
I don't have the numbers on that, but I think Hollywood initially was pretty big.
Versus Rose, Mystery Inc. and Oasis versus those spheres? No.
Yeah, we were pretty chill when it came to, like, we knew we were big, but we weren't like we want to run the game. We just were chilling for the most part. Yeah, we fought some people.
Okay, but I mean, you had a whole year, right? Oreo is how old? They've had one war.
Yeah, they came out of the gate.
I guess it could play out. It could play out the same way Hollywood played out. I mean, Hollywood literally right out of the gates they were in a war. So
yeah, and we won that war, and we gave white peace and walked away. They won
that. Is true.
For 3 months.
Separate everyone into like a perpetual maybe, but it's going to happen probably to us, and it's the naps. Nobody wants naps. Nobody wants.
And Oreo some of Oreo even signed an agreement saying they weren't going to do naps like this.
Thalmor Khan wants to join the call. He said, "If you can." Oh, he's not here. Change up, maybe. I don't know.
If you're worried about coalitions or whatever, the best thing to do is to probably force naps on people and just split everyone apart. That's not in my opinion, what Hollywood ever did. That's why I'm probably slightly biased, but I also signed that no NAP agreement. I don't like NAPs. It makes the game.
I mean,
very,
yeah, I mean,
like,
I've told you, Deca,
sound
too. I
related.
mean, I don't think Oreo should be a long-term thing, so.
Let me know what you think that expiration date should be, because they ain't got anyone that's a rival. I'm not saying that's good or bad, just they don't.
Okay. I'm thinking, why did you guys leave Clock again? Because your departure kind of pushed them to sign another big alliance.
Because didn't Eclipse just want to do like dog piles or something?
Yeah.
Clock? How do you dogpile from the alliance, from the sphere, when it was pretty small?
To team up with Celestial? Is that what it was, or the other way around?
Yep, it was. Yep.
To team up with Celestial to hit Hollywood.
Yep. And we thought that was extreme overkill, and we're disgusted to the point that we didn't want to be there.
So that's probably one of the worst sphere breakups in this game ever. Clock should have stayed together.
I miss Clock.
I don't know. Eclipse wanted you guys gone, Aurora. So I guess maybe you would have been gone, but Kata and Eclipse would have been together still. So
Eclipse wanted Aurora gone?
Yes, 100% they did.
Oh, that's the first I'm hearing about that.
Really? Oh.
Even I heard about that, man. I wasn't even.
Good news for you.
What was Cataclysm's thoughts on Aurora?
That's why I was talking to you about joining the Johnsons for so much.
That was one of the most prevalent rumors ever. It was always
What was Cataclysm's thoughts?
It was constantly going around.
Okay, Kata was fine with you guys getting the boot as well. Yeah, keep this too. But Eclipse was the main pusher on it, and then Kata was like, "Yeah, you're probably right." But still, I mean, they're not as great of friends as you think they are.
Yeah, who said we're friends at all with Eclipse? I mean, we talk with pretty much.
You're probably friends with them now a little bit.
We're friends because it's not necessarily friendship. It's more so we're on the same side this morning, so we're working together.
Right on.
I know. I'm just kidding a little bit.
Yeah,
I like Clock, to be honest.
I'm also kind of trolling with the friends thing.
Why does your member keep saying that Eclipse is our protectorate? Is Cataclysm TKR's protectorate?
Yeah.
No, our protectorate is Daddy SRD.
Oh.
Wait, I hope you tell me that I hope you tell him I called him Daddy. So he'll probably be very creeped out by it.
I said it early on, but Toxic, I honestly give you guys hell of a lot of.
Thank you for letting me on finally. Hello, Deca.
Hey.
I have come on. Thalmor, thanks. So I would like to say a few things that I couldn't say because I wasn't in college just now. And first of all, yes, Kata, you guys did kick us out. Maybe Eclipse wanted us out from the beginning, but then yes, we do know you guys were the one that finally wanted to kick us out. But that wasn't great planning, so you then left Clock too, and that was interesting. So why did you leave Clock after trying to kick us out? Because from what I remember was that you guys wanted to stay in Clock and just wanted us out because we are too big. So explain.
We watched Celestial break up. We watched Hollywood break up. We watched everyone become a lot smaller, and we didn't think there was a realistic path that didn't involve us dogpiling or being extremely over the top as Kata. And I know that might seem like, oh, how selfless, but I would throw in what we're doing right now. Yeah, that was our intent. We didn't want to be an alliance associated with being in a massive block that dogpiles. So the timing might seem
okay. So Clock. Okay, let's pull that back. Okay, Clock has been doing everything that we can for fair and even war. The Blackwater War was not our fault because it was Oasis and Mink that signed together. So technically we weren't exactly dogpiling because it wasn't our fault, it was their fault. So then we had the Rose War, which was quite even. And then we have the BR War. Yes, it might have been a dogpile, but then saying that, BR was planning to hit us with other people. So not our fault again. And then somehow everyone's breaking up means that we have to break up. And I guess also, you guys didn't even tell us that Celestial asked us to dogpile or help not Dogpile, sorry, just to help with hitting Hollywood. We have no idea.
That would have been a dogpile. That would have been a
You,
dogpile.
yeah. Well, okay, yes, true, but we didn't even get the
Celestials are
news,
not
and then you're like, oh, let's kick out Aurora right away. Great,
no.
great plan right there.
So
Wait, actually, real
there
quick
wasn't
point.
any
It's
discussion
funny.
where Celestial reached out to Kata at all. Like it was is an idea suggested and desired by Eclipse, and we didn't want to do it. We didn't really talk to Rose or Celestial at all.
So you mean Eclipse was the one that came up with the idea to work with Celestial to roll Hollywood?
I think
It
that's
was a
pretty clear because as
suggested
soon as
idea.
Hollywood broke up, Celestial signed Rose
Yeah.
and immediately rolled
They,
GGO.
yeah, they ended up working with them and getting in Hollywood. So yeah,
Yes.
Well, I mean, saying that
immediately signed Rose.
Hollywood has been rolling Blackwater or not Blackwater, sorry, Celestial like twice or something now. Well, they hit Blackwater once, and then they hit Celestial once, and they didn't even want a war. So you can't really blame them for wanting to hit Hollywood.
I don't, but Hollywood's not there anymore.
Wait, this whole thing started
at the time.
trying to pin this on Eclipse. Oh, Eclipse wanted you out. Your friends Eclipse wanted you out, and you conveniently left out that Cataclysm was the ones.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I said Kata also wanted you.
Well,
out
you
too,
only
but
after I asked. Only after I asked. I mean, you intentionally left that out for a reason.
who cares? Why? Why is that? That had nothing to do with my point.
Kind of does, but what was the reason Cataclysm wanted us out? Because you said Dogpile?
Well, no. So Kata basically says that they wanted Aurora out because we have too many prots and we're too big for them. So then they wanted to cut down people from Clock. But then the weird part is Kata also left Clock. So I truly don't understand.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
Initially,
Exactly.
yeah, that was definitely like a thought. Like initially, when Clock was like in its earlier stages, yeah, and I think we even like mentioned it to you guys. Like it wasn't like I can't remember any of the prots, so it's not going to be much of an argument. But at the end of the line, like it was, we just didn't. What were we going to do? Like everyone split up, but Clock. Like, we're going to hit just all by themselves? Rose. We already fought them. Like, okay, that's nothing.
Well, actually, I
You
think you guys
fight-
brought up that conversation. When did you guys bring up that conversation? Post breakup or before?
What conversation?
The
wanting
conversation
to-
about wanting to hit Hollywood when
I don't know,
Eclipse
wanting
brought
to
it up.
remove- No, that's what I'm saying. I was saying wanting to remove
Oh,
it.
okay. Not bad.
Did that come up before Hollywood broke up or after Hollywood broke up?
I didn't hear did what
Hey,
come
we
up?
broke up. Did we break up right after the war? Like right after?
I didn't
After we
even.
were
I don't
successful?
really
I think
remember.
so.
I
That's when
remember.
broke up. It was right after the
We
war
were
started.
definitely talking about it during the
Hollywood
war.
broke up, and then I think Clock broke up after that. It was like a chain event. I'm pretty sure, like the war, Celestial, Hollywood, and then Clock.
Yeah, because we got
A
rolled
little
less
bit
than a
longer
month after.
because we didn't. We were like we were trying to figure out like what do we do here at this point? Like everyone's super small now.
Were they super small? I mean, you still had.
Yeah.
Who was
Hollywood
it?
split in
I
half.
didn't even remember.
Listen, Clock versus the current withheld block. That's not fair. Clock
We didn't have
versus,
CTO back then.
like Rose.
Should've-
Yeah, like everyone split in half.
Wait,
Yeah, it
We
was
fought half
actually-
of those people on our own and won. So like them splitting in half.
Yeah, we took. It was right after the war. We left TKR, BK, name withheld. Immortal started it Midgard right around that time, and then GGO did their thing.
Yeah, but I mean, we founded Midgard with TI. So to say that everybody was big, TI was still with Hollywood, I think, or with whatever sphere it was after.
But there,
They are
you have
half.
to you have to take into
Well,
consideration what's going on in the
during the war.
background. Like everyone knew Hollywood was breaking up. Like the last one to break up was Celestial, but everyone knew Hollywood was breaking up for a while.
Yeah, we were talking about it from like week 1 of the war against Celestial. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
wasn't there some rumblings
it
before
took
that?
you guys a year to break up, but yeah, that's fine.
Hey,
we accomplished what we wanted to accomplish.
Like, we had a perfect run. Like
Yeah, it's better than taking 20 minutes to break up. Like Wayward.
yeah.
Yeah, we gotta wait for Tarek to come back on. We gotta wait for them to come up.
That's right. That's right.
Shit talking them now doesn't make any sense, bro.
Yeah, you
It's
got a
not.
20-second cancellation clause there, buddy.
It wasn't written down. So they could have been.
Well, to be honest, I'm a bit more. Let's be honest, like the Hollywood Celestial team up thing against Clock, that was just insane.
Oh yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, so like,
Here, let's come together on this.
I still don't see how, like you're like saying, oh, Oreo's bad right now. It's like,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, it is.
but Hollywood did some shit too. I can't,
Well, that
I
doesn't
can't
excuse
fault
it.
anyone. Well, I didn't say I excuse it.
You just said
I'm
you
not
couldn't
saying
fault it, so
We
that's
were
excusing
set
it.
on.
well,
kidding
everyone's.
Rolled, though, like,
We were
both-
just
Well,
set on
no,
not
hold
being
on,
gay. Thank you very much.
You
We had
literally
our
just said
We
that
had our eyes
you
on
could have
bigger fish.
more if you quiet. So
We had
Con,
our eyes on bigger fish.
Con,
bigger
you
fish. I
just
see.
said-
Clock.
you just said, Con, that you couldn't blame them, and then you said I'm not, or you, yeah. So how's that not excusing them? You said, oh no, I can't blame them.
Warrior hasn't done anything extreme like that, have they? I mean, would joining this war be very extreme?
Yes, they're setting the standard for it being
The
extreme by
nap
smacking
cycle
off
is-
and doing the
they
nap.
can join the war unless
Nap
you join
cycle
the
is
war. So that's
No.
harmful.
Look at the context of everything. They smack Hog, throw a nap on there until January. In the meantime, picking off these people one by one because one sphere cannot beat Oreo alone. It's not even close. Two spheres can't beat Oreo.
Okay. So as I said before, if you guys didn't come and then we fought with withheld until maybe beginning of January or end of January.
And in the meantime, Oreo would have killed
end of December. Okay, yeah, they kill you, but we wouldn't have it. They wouldn't have withheld. Wouldn't have an NAP with
They can't do anything on their
Yeah.
own.
Hog and TKR cannot take Oreo by themselves. They needed Wayward. So maybe Wayward Hog.
I don't believe. No.
Not
I
TKR.
don't believe if with Hog TKR can definitely do it. It's either
You're
Hog
saying,
plus
like
with
saying
World
Hollywood
or
beat
Hog
Oreo.
but Wayward. You guys can definitely take on Oreo.
yeah, if you're saying Midgard versus TKR is a dogpile, then what the hell is fucking withheld on Hog?
Withheld them.
That's-
That's Hollywood.
Withheld and Hog against Oreo is a probably even war with blitz advantage.
Right. If they blitz,
I
then
don't
maybe.
agree with that.
Even no, I don't believe that. Grumpy has so many C40s. You cannot tell me that the tiering thing is now not in progress. When the last time you were talking about me the tiering thing.
You should
And
take
the
a
last show.
look at Oreo. I think you should look at Oreo.
Yeah, maybe you should look
I
at
don't
this.
think you realize like
Okay. Let's
you guys-
charts and let's talk about it then. I would love to talk about that. Perfect. Let's pull up the charts.
Are you guys adding procs into all of your?
And you're so, and this is why
No, we
I'm
don't
saying what
have
I'm saying. You're getting so like charged up in whatever defending Oreo all the time. It's and you've done this for months now. Like why are you defending them so much when you said you defended minispheres?
I
It's not-
honestly
it's not-
believe Mini Spheres is dead.
They don't want us to know
No,
about
it's
the
not- it's not
Midgard
defending.
Oreo.
I've kind of given up.
defending.
Dude, I've been working on Mini Sphere for the past 2 years. Okay, after Duck.
Rookie
After
numbers.
Duck,
So
okay.
rookie numbers.
Yelling at Oreo.
Okay, let's be honest. Your mini sphere
Can't
wasn't
say-
exactly gonna work. The soup was way long ago.
Bro, you can't say we're defending. Your
You
claim was
can't-
that your claim
You
was that
cannot yell.
Huh?
You
Your claim was
cannot
that
yell at Hollywood and then defend Oreo. You can't. You cannot defend.
No. Okay,
Well,
but
I'm not defending that. Oh, hold on.
You're kind of gaslighting here. Hold on, let me talk. You're kind of gaslighting us here. Okay,
What?
You guys said, yeah, you guys said that. Hog withheld is a hard fight. They can't take on Oreo. When we're saying no, they can take on Oreo. How is that defending Oreo? That's just us speaking our minds on the tiering.
Because everything about Oreo, you're on the defensive on it. You've never been critical about one thing on them so far.
Did I not just tell Deca we don't agree with Oreo being a long-term thing?
you did.
How is
And
that? How that?
So don't believe Oreo is a long-term thing. That wouldn't make any sense too.
I think there's some read between the lines on what these guys are saying here. I think we're gonna see some changes coming up. I'm just based on this whole conversation. I'm in TS's departure, everything else. I'm very curious what's gonna happen in the coming short amount of time.
Me and you both, yeah. But you're saying that we're not critical of Oreo when literally we just said we don't agree with them being a long-term thing, just like we didn't agree with Hollywood being a long-term.
What you say because
That's a vague thing to say.
I'll start looking at you, and all of a sudden you get a nap.
What's that?
I said I'd be careful because all you got to do is just think about that kind of stuff, and then who knows how it ends up.
You need to get a.
Wait. So can I get an understanding? So you guys believe that Rose, TS, and Eclipse will sign a treaty together?
I didn't say that.
Okay. Well, okay. Then what's the future plan? What were you trying to say? Because I'm very not sure like how you
You literally
believe it's
said
gonna happen.
no. You said Oreo's not. You said Oreo's not a long-term thing or whatever. So
From the very beginning, I've said that already. If you go back to my older chats, I've never said Oreo is a long-term thing. I don't believe they'd go across a year, maybe 2, because it's the same as Hollywood. I mean, every single time we try to get multi-sphere, another new goddamn sphere comes up. It's like Quack and then Hollywood and then Celestial and then Oreo. I'm just being annoyed that you guys are hypocrites trying to trust them.
Flawed.
Are we though?
wait, what's the hypocrite part?
Well, no. I'm not saying Kata is because Kata's working with us in Clock. So I wouldn't be saying you guys are, but I'm more. See, I've never attacked Kata for saying Oreo was bad. Because Oreo, I'll be honest, Oreo isn't. They're big, they are, and they don't exactly help to Minisphere.
But here we are criticizing Oreo, and you keep defending them. Like we've been the biggest critics of them, and you keep defending. So it's
I'm just trying to say the tiering is different. Like you're telling me you need 3 spheres to take them out.
Yeah. Look at the tiering. You guys
not necessarily 3, just Withheld and Hog might not be. I think if they had the Blitz advantage, then maybe. So maybe they can. But even so, TKR will be coming off of a war. They'll probably have a rebuild.
Well, okay.
Kev, rebuild for months.
Argument from last show. You told me that you need to have at least 3 confidence spheres in order to take down Oreo. Reason why this political sphere is currently not the same as Hollywood when Hollywood was around, because you have Celestial and you have Clock. That's what you said. Now you're trying to go back on saying 2 spheres is fine.
By the way, Deca, to your point in the chat, you're saying one party's under a net, but we're talking hypotheticals here. We're saying Hog and Withheld can beat
reality.
Oreo.
It ain't gonna be able to happen.
Okay, but that was the hypothetical that you guys brought up. You guys said
I mean, the difference is are these naps too? Like, what's this nap gonna bring with Held losing, right? Like, how long is that gonna be? Maybe they're gonna have it longer than the January 2nd. I mean, that Hog nap lasted for a while, so we have to act on the precedent on this, and that's why we're saying
the hypothetical was that you guys were like, 100% Oreo is going to hit way more.
Yeah.
Okay, let me finish the point though. So you said that 100% Oreo is going to hit Withheld, and then Khan's point was, look, well, Withheld doesn't have the nap, and Hog is coming out in January, so them two could work together against Oreo.
And then they're trying to say that if Withheld and Hog work together, you would have to have like a blitz advantage in order to win. So reason why we're bringing out the charts right now to see if it's possible right now.
You win.
Correct.
Okay. Well, I still haven't seen. Okay. I just scroll up. Yeah. My bad. I'll take a look.
They definitely do win, and especially on a blitz advantage. But this is not defending. This is just us speaking numbers here.
I mean, it's the same point where you guys are saying, Kata comes in, we could have still won. We're just speaking numbers
also,
here.
A significant chunk of the numbers on those charts are prots. Just letting you know, we have a prot army.
They have like FSO. They have like, do you have FARC? You might as well sign FARC.
No, we don't have FARC. We have Polaris.
Yeah,
we have FARC. We
WTF.
have FARC.
Who are the core alliances then? Is it TKR?
BK.
TKR, CTO, BK, name withheld.
That's
again, it. And with against okay, yeah, I don't know about that one.
Wait, who's in Oreo? Non-props, isn't it Rose Eclipse?
I mean,
Rose
Eclipse are losing at the moment against Midgard. So does Midgard think they're on the same level as Oreo?
No. What?
I'm not saying that you guys are saying that. I mean, if TKR is losing against Midgard, TKR is going to beat Oreo.
If you're saying Midgard plus... Okay, TKR has more C30 plus, first of all. If you're saying Midgard plus Hog can beat Oreo, I mean, that's a challenge I'm saying that we probably can win.
Actually, can someone pull up a Midgard plus Oreo? Oh, no, sorry. Midgard plus Hog vs Oreo. I would like to see those chart numbers. Thank you.
Well, Hug is kind of
One
hard
block
to
beat
challenge.
Hog.
a
One
way.
block beat Hog. Okay, one block beat Hog. They have a clear, like, a block that can beat them. Can you say the same
Oreo.
for the people that beat them?
Huh?
Hog.
No, I mean we're not
saying
saying
this,
that.
no,
We know.
they
We know.
got Hog.
Like,
We
is
know
there-
1v1 versus Oreo doesn't work. We know that. We never made that argument that somebody can beat them 1v1. We never made that argument. But anyway, who is an Oreo? You guys said Rose, Eclipse, and who else? ASM?
Evenism and ASM.
That's
I
it? Those
believe.
three?
No, it's not it.
That's 4, right?
Who? Who was the fourth?
Rose, Eclipse,
I'm very confused.
ASM, RR, Arkham, Otaku, Shuba, Strickland, Apollo, Valinor, Rain, Fumo, and Orchid.
No. Okay.
So
These are actual alliances, not like that whole list. Okay, you guys said that most of your alliances are prods. Don't include prods in the Oreo ones.
Did Weeb get dropped? Where's Weeb?
Oh shit, did they get dropped?
No.
I thought Weeb was in Oreo. Am I dumb?
No. Weeb is still in Oreo.
Okay.
They're-
Then I'm not
they're
making it up.
All right, so you have Rose
Yeah,
Eclipse.
yeah.
We
Good.
Yeah, so it's
ASM.
just Rose Eclipse, Weeb, and ASM. That's basically it. The rest are trash.
Here,
Or
don't
micros.
wipe your tears too quickly. There's Big Wayward.
Okay, so let's drop all the prots and then let's see this chart again.
Oh, Deca, you're missing Syndicate. Oh wait.
Well, you can't drop Apollo and you can't drop Tess.
Kev, no one from the syndicate's here to listen to your jokes, bro. It's not gonna work. You're not
it's
gonna
not-
bring them from the dead, bro.
Maybe it's not gonna. Maybe it wasn't for the Syndicate. Maybe it's for you lovely people. with Good jokes.
Did I miss the Syndicate joke? Damn it.
You did.
I'm gonna make a bad joke, I think.
I do have to say, TS coming on today was very unexpected.
It was nice.
Yeah, I wasn't
Yeah,
expecting that. To be honest.
Tarek has a very eloquent way of not really saying much, though.
I didn't want to say it.
Well,
I think he said a lot, but the stuff he said was.
Well, he says a lot, but not a lot of stuff that is getting to the point of the questions that are asked.
It's a lot of words.
I think he answered the questions that were asked, but he didn't tell the truth. I guess.
Well, that's between you and them because I'm not in your chats. But
yeah, we're not in your chat, so unless you like leak your chat, we
I ain't
can't
gonna do
really
that.
see what's going on.
I am a
Deca-
trustworthy
Deca
being.
will.
I do not leak. Yeah, ask Kata.
Yes,
Yeah,
Kata,
Deca, come on. I want to see those chat because I'm very interested in this, attack plan.
I mean, like 2/3 of the people are here in this call. Just ask them if they like, is this true?
Yo, Deca, do you guys remember when we wanted to declare him VR? You guys were going to use that one screenshot you asked us. I was like, what the fuck is this bullshit, bro? You guys better not put this in your forum
Dude,
post. We're about to
if-
get memed so hard.
If TCW didn't confirm our suspicion.
Yeah. I remember. I had mixed thoughts personally, just because of other reasons, but on the outside, it looked like a pretty legit. Like, was it
Talking
like?
about the
That was a
background
bad
stuff?
screenshot, bro. That was a very, very vague screenshot. That would have been memed so hard.
Are you talking about the backrooms one?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one with you. I didn't even remember what was in it, but it was like really vague.
Yeah, that was baloney.
Bro,
Yeah.
Even Keith later on was like, "Yeah, I was just stirring shit," and then
Yeah, until TCW confirmed it, I was like, wait, hold on.
He's like, well, actually, it was true." I was like, "God damn it, TCW."
Hey, Sleeping Ninja asked a pretty good question. I think probably not.
Oh.
He said, "Why did Tess join Eclipse in attacking Kata if Oreo exists for the purpose of essentially countering Hog?"
Well, that's kind of we've answered that question here. I mean, they acted in their self-interest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tess is just part of Eclipse. It's like it's an extension.
Yeah, Tess is Eclipse, so
It's
Yeah.
I find it odd to believe they were worried about Kata and the TKR sphere.
They're just gonna get nuked anyways. Like if Eclipse hits, their Tess is in the war anyways, because of the extension thing.
Well, yeah, well, to Deca's point, you were saying I don't know why they would be afraid of Kata TKR. I mean, you guys were plotting, so I guess they guessed right.
I would
Allegedly.
Well, it's common. Again, it's all
little
common
bigger.
sense.
It's not allegedly. I mean, there's proof that you guys were coalition building. You guys,
yeah,
in fact,
Kegos kind of did say that in the
You're
other
gonna-
call.
There was no
2 weeks-
Kata and TKR. It was.
I was just chatting with
bigger
Deca about the weather. I don't know what's going on.
Oh yeah, the storm that's coming soon. Did you hear about the storm?
The Great
I mean-
Storm.
I've been really wanting to try mud pie where you smash some Oreos.
Look,
yogurt
like,
on it.
I mean, it's been out there. Of course it's out there that was the case. Like, there's no duh. And you'd think that people. Well, actually, I'm going to regret saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. You would think people would appreciate being given credit that they can think that out on their own, and so it's not a surprise. But I guess this is politics and war, so I guess maybe it is a surprise to some people. But like, it makes like what else? There was no other thing. There's no other option. Just like I said, it was 100% chance Wayward was going to get smacked, and just it was going to be either an either or a both thing with Withheld and Wayward, and then rinse, recycle, repeat with the nap. Now that this new path has presented itself with TS leaving, maybe something different happens with Oro / Midgard. Or I'm not saying Oro and Midgard are going to be one megasphere. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying maybe treaties break, maybe treaties come together, maybe different things happen, maybe there's some changes. I don't know, right? So
Wait, what treaties are gonna? There's no treaty between
knows?
us and Mario.
No, I never said there was. I'm saying there's changes, like different, like there's block changes that happen from time to time, right? I'm just saying it'd be interesting to see with TS leaving if that causes any changes within the treaty web.
Oh well, definitely. I mean, it's definitely going to change up the treaty web. They have to go somewhere.
I just think that people would be surprised if they realized some of the discussions that have happened in the past that never actually came to be. Because coalition building is all fine and dandy, but if the coalition never actually happens, it's just wasted conversation.
Yeah,
Well-
it didn't actually happen.
What I've heard is that we actually we stopped you guys 2 weeks early, or 2 weeks before your planned launch date or whatever it was.
I'm trying to figure out there's a coalition that almost happened, that didn't happen, that would have been like a super fun global war. Like way back in Hollywood.
Oh my god, do you mean when you guys signed Celestial? We were begging fucking alliances to get on board with a huge coalition to fight you guys, but nobody wanted to.
That would be great. That'd be awesome.
Oh yeah, Aurora led the
That would've
effort.
been
I
fun
told
as
you.
hell.
No, it was like I think it was Hollywood working with Oasis and then maybe Rose to fight Blackwater, Clock, and Mystery. Like we were trying to get like a 3-on-3 war going, and then it never actually
That is
happened.
such bullshit. We would have got fucking rolled so hard.
That would have been awesome, though.
Hey, we were giving you guys Clock, so you had
No,
whales.
you gave us Mystery Inc. and Oasis, or whoever it was.
No, we
Come
had
on.
Oasis.
Yeah,
it was going to be Hollywood, Oasis, and I think Rose versus Blackwater, Clock, and Mystery Inc. Which would have been
interesting.
interesting. We were trying to make it happen.
I
And
remember all
then,
the alliances.
Oasis and Mystery Inc. signed an NDP and they got rolled. So
Who were the big alliances like in the like Clock and Hollywood? You said Blackwater, so that's Syndicate and like the Nexus, the little Nexus block inside of that too.
yeah, well, no, it's
Blackwater.
Blackwater.
Nexus is Blackwater.
It was Blackwater,
Chicago,
Clock,
Dark.
and Mystery Inc. That was what we were trying to get going. It never really got super far, but it was we were talking about it, and then Clock and Mystery Inc. signed their.
You know what was neat doing the whole Johnsons thing? Because then I got out of the whole political landscape thing, right? Because it was the Johnsons, and then Toxic. You had a good idea, because that one alliance thing that basically the MDP opposition thing, right? And that was really cool, and I was super jazzed about that. And then I started hearing it from everywhere, and I think it was after who did you put? I forget what the hell.
Well,
but anyway, that shit fell apart real quick. What's that?
We invited a bunch of people. I think we even had like fucking who was it, Morningstar, Arg.
Yeah, that sucker fell apart pretty quick though, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard when we ask so many alliances and everybody's like, "Oh, it's too hard. We're not going to do it." Blah, blah,
Hey,
blah.
I tried to get the whole of the Johnsons.
Is this that rogue? Is this that rogue thing?
Yeah, that would have been a hell of a fight. Well, it didn't even need to be a rogue thing.
No, it was before the rogue thing that we asked if you guys wanted to join, and then both of you said no.
Yeah,
and
Canada was
like,
like,
if
no.
Hey, COA still went through with it at least.
Yeah, this was the COA thing. Okay, I remember that. Yeah, that was awesome. They had like 1,000.
No, Kegos promised me Guardian. Okay, I still don't see Guardian. Just saying.
Oh yeah, you guys are obsessed with Guardian.
Yeah, you guys were so obsessed with them. You've been telling us for like a year that Guardian was gonna join, and I'm like, guys, no.
Yeah, you guys kept saying Guardian this, Guardian that. We're like, oh my god, bro, stop listening to their false promises. Just move on. They ain't coming.
Leave my boyfriends alone.
What was that rogue thing about? I can like faintly remember what it even was.
No, the only reason why we didn't rogue was because Kagos was like, "Oh, don't fight them. If you rogue on them now, they're gonna have a reason to hit us, and we want Guardian to come." And I was like, "What?
What was it?
What?
Is that why you guys didn't do it? Oh gosh,
the whole rogue thing.
Yeah. Ask Kagos.
Guardian was never leaving Grumpy.
Yeah, they were never leaving Grumpy. But anyway,
God.
When Hollywood signed Celestial, right? Aurora right away was like, "Yo, bro, we should do something. This is some bullshit. We should make a huge coalition, fight them." And then Cataclysm.
That would have been the dopest.
Okay, no. The idea is, even if we lost, it make a statement because you can't do that.
I can actually comment on that. Do you remember joining that server?
So the rogue thing came about after we asked, like, I don't know how many alliances. Everybody was like, "Nah, it's not gonna work. We're not gonna do it." Blah 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 blah. So we were like, "Fuck it. We'll try and do some big damage, I guess, right?" And so the plan was like get a bunch of pirates, get a couple of pirate alliances, get a couple of rogues, right, and then hit TKR or Hollywood. But then it fell apart, and all these COA went. So it was meant to be a lot bigger than just Church of Adam, but yeah.
Hey, COA came in clutch for us, though. Thank you.
Hey, you know what? They did what. Okay, they're the Kata of that time, in my opinion. Sort of. I remember joining that server for like a day or two. By the way, that rogue one.
Yeah, there was a couple of Kata people in there actually.
Yeah, I joined, and I admit I wasn't. When I saw like the spread of people there, and I ain't gonna name any single person at all. When I saw the spread,
I was in there for a second.
I was like, I don't know how I.
I'll drop names. I'm just kidding.
I was like, I didn't know if I felt really comfortable. As far as
a lot of people in their league.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Spanky's got a spy in there somewhere.
Did it ever get leaked? Did
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't.
Oh yes, it did.
No,
We knew it was possibly coming. We heard all about it.
Well, yeah, you'd expect that because you just made that move.
Did you know who was in it though?
We were praying for you guys to come. It would have been so fun.
Yeah, I also remember that word. Yeah, come at us. We're so big now.
Yeah. The whole belief.
I wanted the whole game to believe in itself.
Oh, I see.
Game to
what a lesson! What a lesson!
Believe that they could take down the top dogs.
Senpai Morph trying to teach us shit.
I couldn't stand you when you would say that stuff. To be honest, it was so frustrating.
Hey, that's the type of attitude that results in Oreo.
You know, I was on the forums and I was trying to reread the post, and holy shit, there are 16 pages of that.
See,
oh my god!
You gotta appreciate
believe in themselves.
It was 16 pages and 16,000 downvotes.
More. Yeah.
Yeah,
Down
it's
votes are delicious. Okay, I
The
agree.
irony was that when we started to mill up, that Celestial and Hollywood MDP went out, and you had to have known you were gonna get ripped apart.
Oh, I asked to post that because I wanted the downvotes.
God, it was.
You know what? Honestly,
That was wild.
time out. Midgard, you dropped the ball. You should have used that as your CB. Was that treaty?
Huh?
Yeah, you should have used the treaty of TKR because that you guys tap danced around the war, didn't you?
Yeah, you see, CTO, and us. You know, we're going back and forth too much, and I really hate them already. Like I'm
Wait,
just
how
so
would we
done with
use
them
that
right
as a
now.
CV?
Huh?
How it's months later. How would we use that as a CV?
Well, it's months later for the Carthago thing too. So
No. It's an
Would
ongoing.
have been more of a month
It's
later
ongoing.
than that.
yeah, you're ready to do it. You're holding it in your pocket, and you had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
and now
yeah.
you're ready.
I'll add another
Literally
term
an
into
ongoing thing. It's. I mean, if you guys want to argue the CB, we can definitely argue it. It's an ongoing thing. It's not like Piggy stopped hitting us after these change spheres.
I'd
I
say
have
it's
breaking news, people. Breaking news. I have been full airstriked on my Emperor again.
No. Oh.
So
My
you got
citizens
a treaty offer from Cindy.
are homeless.
Oh, Borg wants to hear the CB explanation. Okay. The big
Again? Are we doing this again?
Again, we literally
right.
did that in the beginning. Alex was explaining already.
I'm going to bed if we're doing this again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
Still
been
meaning
killed.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, Borg. I tried, bro.
I mean, we talked about the CV last call, and then now we're going to talk about it again.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm past my bedtime, anyways.
Yeah, I thought that was. one of
Oh,
the important
when do you
topics.
sleep? It's only 11:30 for me.
Technically only 10:40 for me, but I'm whatever.
Oh,
Central.
I don't have any military, so I don't have to like stay up till 2 to do my hits anymore.
So, like, do critical
You guys
hits,
do that?
Who do you attack? And
No, I usually just wake up in the middle of the night and be like, I'm awake. Let me blow up some Emperor, and then
Ugh.
easy.
God, if that's not me, I don't know what is.
Oh, that
Doing
is not
econ,
me.
Like, I wake up from sleep apnea and I'm like, oh, this guy needs his bank request. No, might as well do it.
God, get a life, nerds. Jeez.
I know, okay?
says you.
I'm going to wake up in the middle of the night to do an airstrike.
You've been on the phone for 4 hours with us.
Something
I
tells
know.
me you dedicate so much to this game, bro.
Dude, airstrikes at 3 a.m. hit different.
I would say in the last, when did this syndicate thing get rolling? In the last 4 days, I've spent more time on this game than I've spent on the last 4 months, since Johnson.
I mean, that's fair. Dude.
That's true.
I've been
I was
mostly
pretty checked out until we got hit, and it was like, oh, this game is fun. So
Can the radiation go above 1,000? No one actually wants to know. I'm just asking personally. Can radiation go above 1,000?
I'm doing my best, but we unfortunately in TKR have been doing a very campaign to try to reduce our nuke stockpiles at very poor timing. So,
All right, guys, I gotta get off. I have a long drive ahead of me, but it was a good talking with everybody here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Drive safe. Drive safe, everybody. Don't pull a rebel. Don't pull a rebel.
Definitely.
What's going on, Toxic?
So yeah, good night.
Bye.
See ya. I enjoy our show today. That was quite a good chat. The good old days, eh?
We're not done yet.
Oh, we're not done yet? Are we not done yet? I swear we are.
we still have a 3-hour discussion ahead of us on.
Hey, Schwinn's here. Schwinn is in an ongoing war as well. Is he not?
Yes.
Right? Are we forgetting about Schwinn's war? Come on, guys.
Justice for Swin's War.
Yeah, I do remember TFP was doing really well. I think everyone might have put that on the back burner. I hope not. But that war's still going.
Plot twist: Ripper re-rolled is now in TFP and is fighting Arc.
Apparently, the arms. Is it the armed pacifists? Or is it peacekeepers, right? The armed peacekeepers?
Cap. Yes, the armed peacekeepers.
Yeah. They're apparently net positive. All right. Against pirates. Okay.
Like they're positive as in like their attitudes are positive, or like
They're like, yeah, we're not doing great.
Wait, your net is positive?
Dang.
My net is super positive, man.
What?
Oh, I don't know, tap. My bad. I say I got a great net, man.
Do you?
I swear DPE also got positive against Arc.
Wait, Morph, is your net actually positive?
Dude, I got like 1 billion net right now, man.
How?
Because, you know,
High infra.
talent and skill. It's called more that Kata guys on my offense got beige, so I beiged. So
Okay.
thank you, Kata, for your sacrifice.
my lord.
That explains our situation. No.
Oh,
Is
I'd
that-
like to point out if you get Deca really roaring with laughter, sounds just like Jared Leto.
It's almost midnight. It ain't gonna happen. I gotta wake up in 5 hours.
It is spot on. If you can get him to go, that was actually what Wayward was. Our logo was going to be. Actually, Jared Leto is in the logo, and that's why. Spot on.
The real
Also,
question
his Stephen Hawking is really good too. What's that?
The real question is, who is Kata gonna marry to be Paradise's new daddy?
TS was Kata's only true love, so they're going to work at getting them back into.
We're
okay.
single and we're fine.
Yeah, but your
We don't
child
need-
needs a father.
We don't need no man.
Who,
Your child needs a father.
I might run away and stay with Dad. I don't know.
Oh boy.
Give me another
What?
LaCroix.
What? We don't need anyone. We're gonna file for what's that called? Welfare.
Might
We're
get a
gonna file
restraining
for
order.
welfare. We'll get community welfare.
All right, I'm getting off.
Yeah.
Have a good
Okay. Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I need to go too.
See you, Kev.
See you, Thalmor.
I'll do with you guys, so it's not awkward.
All right. Bye,
See you
everybody.
all. See you all. See you all.
Bye. Oh, everyone just left. Okay. That's the show. It's been 4 hours. I've actually ate 2 meals. I've ate 2 meals since the beginning of the show to now. Holy shit, that was really something. I guess James just died because he joined and then went quiet. He was in chat earlier, and I speculated on Midgard and Oreo working together. He said, fuck you to me, and then he joined the voice chat, and then he just said nothing ever again. James Wilson, complete Sigma male. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the bonus war show panel follow-up. Recording will be up potentially tomorrow. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're done. That's it. I didn't expect everyone to just leave, though. I thought it was just Kev leaving and then Khan, and then everyone just cascaded out of here. That was really funny. But that's it. Thank you all. I'm tired. I want to finish these apples and then go to bed. It's over. Good night. Kills Bob in the recording.